Oh boy, chat, do we have a lot to discuss. So, the Wizard Liz, I'm sure you all know about her cheating situation with Landon Nickerson. Now, since the last time we spoke and we got on the show and discussed their situation, there has been a lot of shocking information that's come out from both her sister, the Wizard Liz's sister, and Landon's supposedly ex-girlfriend slash fiance slash baby mother. Okay, it's just very confusing. But we're going to go through all of the information so that hopefully all of us can learn from some of the mistakes that have been made on everyone's side and take this information to better ourselves in our own personal romantic relationships here. And I know some of you that may be on a little bit of the older side, you're not necessarily Gen Z, aren't tapped into everything that Gen Z is doing. You're kind of like, is this really that culturally relevant, Thompson? Do you really have to discuss this? Let me show you something, because I'm on the same page as you. Some of you might be like, why are we discussing this? Is this really necessary? Watch this, watch this. So I'm on TikTok. And after I consume the Landon and the Wizard Liz information to present to you on the show, I see this on TikTok. This is a Times Square, okay? Unless this is AI or this has been edited in some way, this is really Times Square, okay? So this is literally, I don't know if I can play it. There's a song in the background. Chat, tell me, is this AI? Is this AI? Because I don't know. There's no way that there's a billboard in Times Square about the situation. There must be AI. Okay. Now, some of you might be like, okay, that's obviously AI. So I was like, okay, that might be AI, probably edited, not real. Then I am scrolling again on TikTok and I see this video. Landon is not welcome on our planes. This is like an airliner. Okay. That's advertising this. This video has 1.4 million likes on TikTok. It's an airline talking about Landon is not welcome on our planes. And I said, oh my God, this has gone far. This has gone very far. And I said, okay, maybe that's just an anomaly. One place just kind of posted a random thing and it's random. Nobody really cares that much. And I'm scrolling through TikTok and then what do I see? Another place. This is a restaurant completely unrelated to the situation. I'm like, no. They say people who are not welcome at our restaurant. Landon. So now I'm like, okay, clearly I have to discuss this because clearly a lot of people are thinking and discussing this. This video has over 300,000 likes and over 1,500 comments. So these are restaurants and airliners talking about Landon is not welcome here. So, all right, we'll discuss this because clearly it's very relevant to a lot of people. Now, let's kind of do a quick recap just because I know some of you will be a little bit lost on what's transpired so far. So long story short, the Wizard Liz, she's a content creator. Her ex-fiance, at the time it was her fiance. I'll show you guys a video of the Wizard Liz and her fiance, right? This is the Wizard Liz on the left side. This is Landon on the right side. Landon, he was a content creator. I don't think he creates content anymore, but she is a popular YouTuber. She has like 8 million subscribers, okay? Now, they were in a relationship we'll get to the timeline in a little bit. And in the process of their relationship, he actually ended up cheating on her. Now, I'll explain to you how this kind of works. So basically what he did was he sent a girl a message while they were married. Okay, sorry, some of this stuff is a little bit random that I was saving. He sent a message to a girl while they were married, and I want to show you guys the actual, did I get the video of the actual message? I guess it's here. So this is the actual message that was he sent to another girl while they were married, and then that girl sent screenshots of that message to the Wizard Liz. The Wizard Liz found out, and then she posted about it, basically saying, I'm breaking up with him. I'm done with this guy. He's not my man anymore. So we'll kind of go through these messages just a little bit, and I'll, you guys can pause whenever you're rewinding if you want to read through any of these. But long story short, to kind of sum this up, he had messaged that girl. This is a random girl on Snapchat. He made a Snapchat account, messaged her, and basically asked her to meet up. Someone said married or engaged. They were engaged. The Wizard Liz. Did I say married? The Wizard Liz and her man were engaged at the time, so they're fiancés. Also, to note, for those of you who don't know, she was pregnant at the time that he was sending these messages, because this is recently. So she's pregnant and they're engaged, and he was caught sending this girl messages about essentially meeting up with her. And in the process of his messages to her, he essentially said his relationship with her is for show, that they're not really actually married. It really isn't that serious, that she doesn't have to worry about him and the Wizard Liz, okay, calling their relationship fake, right? So these are the messages he sent to a girl. And then that girl then was like, what the hell? This is crazy. She sent that to the Wizard Liz. And then once the Wizard Liz seen it, she then posted on her YouTube, essentially saying that the relationship is over and she no longer wants to be with him. Now, let's quickly just listen to kind of Landon's reaction of the situation and his response to the situation, what he feels about it, and what he thinks real quick as a recap, and then we'll get into the juicy stuff of today, okay?
Come on here and ask for your forgiveness. I'm just going to come on here and ask for understanding, because I made a mistake, but that doesn't mean that I don't love Liz. I love her with my entire heart, and we have a baby on the way. And over the last 10 months, I have done everything I can to give this person all that I can and to make her happy and do all of this. And regardless of how much I care, I made a mistake. And in the middle of texting somebody I should not be texting, in this moment of fucking weakness, like seeking validation, and it's just a bad behavior that I can't believe I did it. But in the moment that I was doing it, I messaged that person that I was sorry and that it was wrong. And I prayed to God that night for strength and clarity and to never do that again. That is not who I want to be. It is not what I thought I was stronger than this. I thought I was smarter than this. And I let something build up inside of me that I indulged in. And it is weak and it is despicable. And in this, I'd like to just take full accountability. I don't think this should have been aired out, honestly. And there's so much, oh my God, there's so much to say that I am not going to say. But I'm taking accountability regardless. This is not something that I want to promote or make seem like I identify with. This is not who I want to be, and I'm sorry. I don't know how I could be such a fucking idiot at times. Like throughout my life, there are times where I just do things that I know I shouldn't.
Me too. I'm a guy too. Yeah, I can understand that. I do stupid things too. I'm not a perfect person either.
And I learn, but I shouldn't have to learn this way. So I'm sorry. The final thing I'm going to say, and then I'll probably delete these. I love Liz more than I could even put words to, and I've shown her the
scale of 1 to 10. How much do you think he actually loves Liz? Okay, I want all of you to answer.
And I've tried my best to make her feel safe and happy and protected. And while yes, I made this mistake, I want to be a great man, and I'm not there yet. But I know that a great man is one that takes accountability. I know that a great man is somebody who makes a mistake and then can be forthcoming honestly. And although I felt bad, like I should have just said, hey, I've done this thing. I feel very bad about it. I'm sorry. Like I know what I did was wrong and this is not going to happen again, and I'm sorry. And that's how you should treat the people you love. And I am sorry. Like, I'm not going to come on here and ask for your forgiveness. I'm just going to come on here and ask for
Okay. So I want us to look at this together. I know some of you can't really see. Let me see if I can make this so you guys can see this properly. It's not going to let me do this. Okay, let me see if I can click on it. Nah, it won't let me do it. Anyways, so this is essentially a screenshot from the Wizard Liz. And she said in her message, I'll just quickly read it. I will never, ever create a fake narrative for social media. I will not preach something and not stand by it. Let me just put this down for those of you who, so you guys can all see it here. Let's see. Okay, better. Let me do this. All right. So she says, I will never ever create a fake narrative for social media. I will not preach something and not take the advice myself. Landon and I decided to make a Snapchat. Oh, let me just do this, actually. Let me do this. If I switch to the YouTube one, perfect. Better. Landon decided to make a Snapchat account and reach out to a girl to meet up. He was just with me in London, made a whole book about how much he loves me. The book is something I want you guys to keep in your mind because it gets crazy, okay? Anyways, the girl that reached out to me, to my friend today, showed us the evidence. He called the relationship fake. Meanwhile, my cats are with him in Dallas. All my stuff is there in our apartment. And oh, I'm 4 months pregnant. Can anyone tell me, chat, for those of you who are really in tune with the situation, where does the Wizard Liz live currently? I'm assuming Landon lives in Dallas. Where does the Wizard Liz reside? He says he's incredibly sorry. But honestly, I feel like I didn't know him at all. I feel stupid for ignoring the signs and dreams I had. I even told him about, and he told me I was crazy. Okay, so we're gonna look at something here that I want us all to take in. Let's see here. So the Wizard Liz. We're gonna look at actually me because I put in Tom. We're going to look at a video of me and what I said last live stream about the Wizard Liz and her situation, because I want us all to kind of take this in. With that girl and meet up with her, walking around like people won't recognize my face. You have a meeting. So you want to, let's play this. I think that that's going to become a point of contention. That's what you guys said he did. She obviously is. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm stupid. I have a sneaky suspicion she obviously is upset. But as time goes on, she's going to think about the fact that he didn't meet up with her, because that's what you guys said. He didn't meet up with her. And it was a message. And obviously his message was the intention of meeting up with her. But this is the problem about not letting people execute on their idea. I think now she's going to be going back and forth in her mind about the fact that he didn't meet up with her. And as much as she wants to be upset, I think that that's going to become a point of contention in her own mind of giving him a chance, another chance, because of the fact he never actually met up with her. And see, this is why I'm going to take this to a place that's the other people didn't take it to. This is why I actually advise you, if you ever do catch a guy like on the verge of cheating or in the moment or in the midst of doing something, as much as you want to say something in that moment, leave it be and just monitor it and let him see for yourself how far that person will go. Because now Landon has a perfect built-in excuse. And he's, trust me, he's coming with this. I'm a man. I know what his built-in excuse is going to be. I was just mad. I was never going to meet up with her for real. You know I love you. Come on. You really think I'm going to... This is how he's going to say it. I'm telling you how the men will gaslight. This is how he's going to say it. You really think I was about to go out in public with that girl and meet up with her, walking around like people won't recognize my face? You have... He'll show her the sub count. This is what he'll do. This is how the men do it. He'll show her the sub count. You have 8 million subs. There's 500,000 people that watched our last video. You think they don't know my face? I'm going to go outside with her and, get caught being with another girl. What am I going to say? How is that going to make sense? What if someone takes a picture of me, right? This is how he's going to say it. And this is the problem, because she didn't let him follow through before outing him and catching him, right? Now he's going to be able to say, I was never actually going to follow through with it. I was never actually going to meet up with her. It's just so stupid for me to do that. And then what's going to happen is, see, it's easy to just say you're going to walk away. But then all of this will be on your mind and she'll be thinking to herself, damn, I'm with this guy. I'm supposed to get married to this guy. I have his baby inside my belly. Don't forget that, chat. Don't forget that, chat. This is a human being. We're not talking about a robot here. She's thinking, she's literally feeling the pains in her stomach of the baby that's in her stomach. I have this man's baby inside of me. I'm really upset right now. But it is true, he didn't go and meet up with her. And it is true, that would be really, 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 really dumb. And it is true, he would easily get caught. And he did get caught. But even if he went out with her, it would be even easier to get caught. And so my whole point being is that as much as I know all of you might want the Thewizardliz to go crazy and truthfully never see him and speak to him again, I don't think it's going to be that simple. Obviously, she has his baby, so it's definitely not that simple. And okay, the reason so that is what I said last time. And this is obviously not knowing about anything that would transpire later on. So now that we kind of are up to date on what's going on here, let's explore the new revelations of this situation with her man, Landon, her ex-man, Landon. So we'll start off by, and I know some of you will be wholly very, very confused by this, but I'll do my best to explain how this works from my understanding, at least. Chat, you can also correct me. So this is a video from Landon's ex-girlfriend, who is going to share her experience of being with Landon and what she went through with him. And I want you guys to pay very close attention to some of the similarities, because I know most of you are pretty up to date on the situation of her and Landon. So I want you guys to pay attention to some of the similarities of the things that she says she went through with Landon versus some of the things that the Thewizardliz went through with Landon. And I'll tell you why this is important, okay? So I'll let her speak, and then we'll discuss as she goes on.
I'm not really wanting to make this video, but I feel like I'm obligated to. I'm super nervous. I hate being so vulnerable and talking about a past and a partner that has hurt you so much and made you feel so less. And even being in the public eye per se, like, I love to tell you what's going on in my life and like who I'm dating and like what I'm doing, but it's a lot when it's about someone who also now is in the public eye. And I'm not here to tell my story and hate and shit on someone, because at the end of the day, we need to pray for an individual that possesses so much hate and so much hurt in his heart to hurt other people physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Like, that's what I said when I got out of this and lived through what I went through with him. And I'm not here to hate on him. I'm here to tell my story because I have a voice, and it's been limited for so long because I'm terrified of this man coming back into my life. And there's just so much that I want to get off my chest, so you know in detail with screenshots, because I have every screenshot, I have receipts, and I want everyone to know that I had nothing to do with their marriage, or we were not together when they got engaged. People were saying that. And we dated for a year, from 2023 to 2024. I was physically abused by this man. I was mentally abused by this man. He took my past trauma and made me feel so safe and heard and understood. And I fell for it because I was stupid and codependent and idiotic. And I have no more shame anymore. There's thousands of women who have gone through what I've been through, plus worse things that's ever happened to them, and they can get out and tell their story. I have enough strength to tell mine. So this is what this video is going to be. I met Landon 2023 to 2024. I met him in Dallas, Texas. He's from Oklahoma. I'm from Texas. I met him. I was his bottle girl. He came all the time. Everyone said he was known for being the sweetest person. My guard was already up. I was
very interesting. Dallas seemed okay. This is gonna sound kind of weird. I don't want to pause too much while she's talking, but so obviously he's not from Dallas, but Dallas seems to be like his go-to fun place. Because if you guys noticed, you guys, when I skimmed through it, maybe some of you didn't see it, but for those of you who are updated on the situation, he talked about meeting up with the girl and then being in Dallas for some time and things like that. So Dallas is like a hub spot of his. The reason I'm saying that is because it's something to note that he met her while having fun in Dallas, but he's not actually from Dallas.
3 months abstinent. I was not in a relationship. I ended up getting a lot of trauma that happened to me in the state of Connecticut. I had someone steal my identity and lock me in a closet and then put a to my head and beat me to the point where I was in the ER. So I was traumatized, I was broken, I was hurt. I had a unresolved wound from my parental figures, with a disorganized attachment style, with a severe codependent issue. I experienced something that I wish no one has ever in their life would go through. But I hope that me telling my story and what I went through with the receipts, because I have such a weird feeling that people are gonna think I'm lying, and that's just how I've always been. So I ended up deleting my contact with him and getting rid of my number, and I deleted everything when I broke up with him in 2024. And my best friend sent me all the screenshots. So if it wasn't for her, I would have had nothing to showcase for. But we met in Dallas. I was his bottle girl. My friends knew Landon because he was always going out. I was 21 at the time. I lived in a different state, and I just never went out. I'm just not a going out person. I'm not a big drinker. I don't do drugs. He does that, whatever he wants. I don't care what he does. So when everyone was like, oh my God, Landon's here, he's so sweet, he's so nice, he's a gamer,
Also, something to note, so there's a video of Landon and his girlfriend. I won't play it, but we could just pull it up so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. There's a video of Landon and his girlfriend, Thewizardliz, girlfriend, ex-fiance at the time, Thewizardliz, of them together. In this video, they do talk about how they met, and a lot of what they discuss is like kind of very like spiritual in nature, the things that they've gone through like mentally, and manifestation and things like that. So quite interesting that someone who is presenting themselves to be a particular way, which seems to be very in line with the way that Thewizardliz is, and her content and how she, talks and the things she thinks about, is actually someone who does drugs by the account of his ex-girlfriend, right? So if you're noticing some things here, right, there seems to be a theme of Landon kind of doing a metamorphosis of who he is depending on like the girl he's with, because one girl understands him to be one way and another girl understands him to be very similar to herself in a different way. Okay, so this is something interesting to note, and this is part of the reason why I always advise you all, when you're dating a guy, don't go off of how you know him, go off of how his friends know him, because guys do this where they'll do a metamorphosis of themselves depending on who you are, and as they learn you, they start to try to talk like you, sound like you, pique the interest of the things they know you're interested in, because they know that'll make themselves more attractive to you. So just something to think about there, okay? Let's continue on with the rest of her story.
My friend's sister worked for his cousin that's Preston Plays. So everyone's saying he's just such a nice person. And I'm like, great, you could be a nice person. You're in my age range. You're freaking smart. I'm a sapiosexual and a demisexual. So I love when people are smart. I love having someone intellectually dominate me. I love that. So he's just really good with his words. And I told him I would just want nothing but friendship. So we did the 4th of July together. I met all of his friends. He met some of my friends, and everyone was just having a grand old time. And I went home after that, and he's like, I'll come with you. I was like, no, like, I'm not, I can't, like, there's so much in my heart. I don't feel safe being with a guy I don't know, everything like that, because I had to bring what happened to me into that, because that was in April, and we were talking in July, and then we started officially dating in August. He made me feel so loved, so seen, so heard, so understood. He took my trauma that I didn't want to open up about, and he made it feel like I'm safe. And I believed him, because at the end of the day, like, he was just such a nice person. I'm hearing it from all of his friends, from all of my girlfriends that know him personally, because they've been his bottle girl for years. And I'm like, wow, like, could this be the guy that I prayed for? Like, could this be everything I ever wanted in life? And I was not educated in therapy. I was not educated in psychology. I was not educated in anything spiritual. And he awakened something in me that I always knew I had. I always have been super, super, super emotional. And I felt everything that someone else was feeling. So I knew that I was a codependent early on in the relationship, because I'm fawning around him, because we have fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. So I was doing that, and I was always like talking about how I'm hurting and like everything like that. So I realized that there was something neurologically wrong with me because I kept on going back over and over again. And I don't want to make this a long video. So we met, we started dating. He cheated on me with the first girl. I'm going to show you the screenshots. This was the first screenshot. And then
hold on, girl. We can't read that fast.
This was the
okay, wow. I'm so sorry I hurt you, you know. I have never wanted. Let me put on my glass. Chat. Shoot, we in classy. Okay, we in class. I gotta put on my glasses for this. All right. So, I believe the white is Landon, the blue is her. I'm so sorry I hurt you. You know, I never wanted this. What can be done? Interesting. But it happened. It's okay. God's plan is never wrong. What can be done? Is there any reality? I don't know what he says there. Maybe he says, like, of us being together. I got back before you. You had 1,000 chances. I'm good. That's it. I mean that little to you. Like I said, you had your chance. Live with the consequences of losing me. Biblical love doesn't keep score. Interesting that he refers to the Bible as a justification for her taking him back. Obviously that's a manipulation tactic, but let's see if that comes into play later on.
The first screenshot. And then I've had such a broken part of me that was never healed and never fixed, and I kept on saying to myself, like, why am I attracted to the same quality men in different fonts? Why is this happening to me? And then I realized it was me because I was vibrating at such a low frequency to attract these horrific men. And then I was like, okay, let me start healing myself. So I started researching into therapy, and I was about to break up with this man because I was like, you know what? No, like, I've been traumatized by men. Stay away from me. I held my boundary very firm. He wrote me a love letter. He wrote me a book. He wrote me a song. He came to my house with thousands of flowers every time he messed up, and he just swooned me back in. And I was like, wow, like, he's putting this much effort into me, like a month into knowing him. He must love me. I was so stupid. I was so naive, and I was so young to ever think that's what love is. And after experiencing a non-toxic, super loving personality with my boyfriend presently, I'm like, wow, like, why was I ever so broken and so alone and so hurt and so desperate to love, to lick a knife of love off of a man? Like, he fed me nothing but lies. His words never correlated with his actions, so I was sacrificing my boundaries to attune to his freaking words because his freaking actions were like below average. And I was so stupid, and it's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. I took him back like 7 times. He cheated on me. I took him back. I ended up getting pregnant by him. I had my miscarriage. I was alone. He was
What's okay? Hold on. Abby, you skimming over some things that are very important. I don't like that. We got to stay on some of these things and discuss some of these things. What you got? Okay, because I haven't chat. I'm reacting to this in real time. If you didn't know, I put together this information, but I haven't consumed all of it. So apparently, she's gotten pregnant by him, and okay. Let's see if she expands on that, because where's the baby now? Like, what happened? What transpired? How did that situation go?
Doing his own thing. He wanted to comfort me, and then that's when I realized it's so embarrassing. I took him back like 7 times. He cheated on me. I took him back. I ended up getting pregnant by him. I had my miscarriage. I was alone. He was doing his own thing. He wanted to comfort me, and then that's when I realized, I'm like, fuck, I'm repeating a pattern. And we went to therapy. He found a therapist that specialized in BPD. He told me that I had BPD, and she looked at me. She's like, "Girl, you do not have BPD. You're too self-aware. You're too empathetic. That doesn't even make sense. You've never been suicidal." And he's like, and he's making me feel like I have something neurologically wrong with my brain. And I was like, "No, there's no way." And then I actually believed him. And I thought to myself, I'm like, oh, I'm never gonna be loved. He's the only man that's gonna love me. And that's what I thought, because he kept on throwing my past in my face. He kept on telling me that if I was a real woman, I wouldn't be doing, like, being a bottle girl. So I ended up quitting bottle service because he told me that the woman that he wants to be with can't be a bottle girl, but he goes into the clubs and he loves the attention from every bottle girl. It makes no sense. And he cheated on me with other bottle girls. Like, it made no sense. In my brain, when I was 21, it made complete sense. So I lost my baby.
Okay, so obviously the cheating is multiple times. Okay, so remember how we talked, sorry, I just put things together in my mind, very strange. Remember how we talked about the Dallas is like his fun spot. So it's quite interesting. He comes to Dallas for fun. He's out in the club to meet her. That's when they start building their relationship. And then he proceeds to cheat on her with more bottle girls. Now, something she didn't mention is how she found out that he cheated. But it's likely, I'm just making an assumption here, I could be wrong, that if he cheated on her with another girl or bottle girl in Dallas, then it's possible that word got back to her because of the network of bottle girls and clubs and like, oh, isn't that your man, and things like that. So quite interesting. It's like, in putting things together so far, it seems like he actually has a cheating city. I may be wrong here, chat. Tell me if you guys are thinking that this kind of makes sense. Dallas seems to be like his cheating city where he's going to like enjoy himself and like get everything off of his chest that he wants to do in terms of fun and just doing whatever he wants. Because I keep hearing Dallas, I keep hearing bottle girls, I keep hearing clubs, and that sounds very different from this guy in this video. Okay, this guy in this video doesn't sound like a guy. For those of you who have not watched this video, go watch this video on their YouTube channel, because this guy doesn't sound like the same guy who is going out to clubs and getting drunk and doing hard drugs and all that other stuff. It's just, so that is very, very interesting, unless some of you disagree. From what I see on here, it doesn't sound like the same guy, but very interesting. We'll go on with this here.
And he was cheating on me again. He cheated on me, and this is the first time he laid his hands on me, and I'm going to show you the video. Trigger warning.
Oh, damn.
And he was coming to come get me, and he punched a hole in the wall. He cornered me. I have pictures and videos. Hold on. This is him.
Girl, Abby, we cannot read that fast.
He punched a hole in the wall. He cornered me. I have pictures and videos. Hold on. This is him.
We can't read that fast. Okay, so I feel like an old man every time I have to put my glasses on to read. So this is her saying to Landon. This is a screenshot of her saying this to Landon via DM, I'm assuming on IG. You punched a hole in the wall and cornered me 4 different times, getting in my face and pushing me. It was self-defense. You won't even admit that. And the truth, because you're still trying to gaslight me. Find God. I will never know what was done or said. What? You delete messages and you deleted, I think it's meant to say her number, and deleted your call log. It's always going to be something with you. You lied, you gaslight me and manipulated me to believe that it was your, I don't know what she said here. You at 9:30 at night, find God and I'll keep you in the loop if I'm pregnant or not. Please do not reach out to me until I reach out to you. Do not show up at my house or I will call the police. Okay. Interesting. So I guess this is what she said to him at the time when they're still together. All right.
This is what he...
Okay, this is too small for me to even read. Let me see if I can read this. You're right. Glad you understand. Let me go. I can't keep dealing with this pain like this. Your one jacket is downstairs, I think she meant he was saying. Look how much hatred and resentment there is here. You were being so sweet yesterday. Control was lost again. I never wanted this with you. It doesn't need to be this hard. It could have been so much simpler. And I really resent that it wasn't. I effing hate it.
He would do to get me back in, because I started to think that I was the one with the issue because I set the boundary. I showed this.
Yeah, you showed that.
Was that night or not? Showed this. Was that.
Biblical love doesn't keep score. You went out to a club searching if I was out. Interesting. And then invited my friends to your section. You have not changed one bit. I'm praying for you. A lot of people are. I hope you have enough strength to get through this. He says some things kind of blocked out by this play button, but it's going to be impossible for me to read it without pausing. I would have rather been with you. You had such harsh judgment for me. I'm sorry I hurt you. I just can't really believe it. You lied. Oh, sorry. You said this was all me, not being able to blah, 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 blah.
That night, we're not even fucking 4 months in. I have to make a part 2, and I don't want this. It's literally 10 minutes long.
Okay, so let's look at your part 2.
Part 2 of who the fuck was I dating. I'm literally breaking out in hives and rashes because I have so much built up anxiety because I don't want to talk about this at all. And I'm doing this because it needs to be said. There needs to be truth of what's behind. There has to be something that I can show you guys to the point where you understand that, like, I'm not the person that he cheated on with Liz. So I took him back because I'm stupid, because he would flood with more notes, more handwritten notes, more flowers, more everything, and he would jump a like 10-foot fence to get into my building, my apartment complex. He would literally like write me notes and everything. Like, it was just so much abuse physically and then mentally. Took him back. It comes around New Year's. He cheated on me again with the same girl. They went to the same party. I just...
What? This, okay. Interesting. Okay. So, what's going on?
Lost. I was like, whatever, just go do you. He invited her to...
What does go do you mean? Does that mean like she just got to a point where she didn't care? She was like, I'll just get cheated on, who cares?
Hawaii with his guy friends in like January. My brain's not working. January, and then I found that out when I went through his phone. We broke up again.
Chat, someone tell me, because I know you guys are more versed on some of this than I am. What does Landon do for work? What is his actual occupation? Because I haven't seen, I don't think he has like a super successful like big YouTube channel or anything. Like I'm assuming he's some sort of business entrepreneur. What does he actually do for work? Because obviously he gets to travel around. He has enough money to do whatever he wants to do. Someone said tech, a gamer. Is he like a streamer? Entrepreneur, like what is his business though? Like, you name me a business that he has. He's rich off computer tech. Okay, so he's a tech guy. Something to do with tech is his business. Someone said, honestly, I don't know. He used to be a YouTube gamer, yeah, but what does he do now? Squirrel? Like, that can't be what you mean. He was a businessman. So I'm hearing businessman, so some sort of entrepreneur in the tech space. Someone says stripper. You guys are funny.
Again, he threw a light wand at me. Like, it was just so much. My birthday comes around in February. My first actual ever birthday, I didn't cry because I had so much trauma from my past. I hated my birthday. He did that well, I guess. Even though I did my own birthday balloons, and then Valentine's Day comes around.
By not cheating on you, he did that well? Okay.
Around so much trauma with March. And then April is when it's his birthday, and he went to go to Bora Bora with his guy friends. I totally believe that was the story that he was telling me. He said it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I was like, yeah, go have fun. Like, I'm not a toxic person. You go have fun. I have my own friends. You have your own friends. Have fun. I thought it was with the man in Bora Bora with all of his guy friends. It wasn't. It's with the girl. Another girl that he cheated on me with. She's from Florida. And that hurt. That really hurt because he didn't post me on social media. We never hard launched it because I knew that I was never going to hard launch it because every girl in Dallas has been with this man while he was with me exclusive. I was exclusive with him.
So we're going to have to chat. We're going to have to get to the bottom of why he would choose Thewizardliz if he is obviously a serial cheater. Because honestly, if it's like, okay, you make one mistake one time, whatever the case may be, and he recovers from it, whatever. But clearly this is like what we would describe as a serial cheater, like someone who like is compulsively cheating. They can't even stop themselves. Okay. Like that's a whole different territory. That's not even like, oh, I just did it on accident. That's not even lust. That's just like compulsion on a different level. But the reason I'm saying that is it's interesting that he would pick a woman like Thewizardliz, who's obviously going to show, well, he started to know would show him off. And when she does show him off, obviously she has so many subscribers and so many followers, they're going to know who he is and his association to her. So quite interesting, he would choose a extremely public relationship to be the woman he executes his serial cheating compulsion on, unless maybe he just wasn't thinking about it that far, right? Someone says, but don't you think Liz would do her homework, especially about cheating? Well, to be fair, this video that Abby is putting out now, his ex-girlfriend, was not around when she was dating Landon. But we're going to see something that is very interesting that there's a point of contention on about what information she could have had. And also, this is kind of a little bit of a lesson also as well, that one of the main concerns of yours whenever you date a guy should be, why did his most recent relationship end? Now, obviously, you think Landon's going to say, I cheated on her 80 million times and things like that. But this is another reason why I say, ask the same question in different ways multiple times throughout your span of dating a man, because people like to say some things, and then if you just leave it, even though it doesn't make a lot of sense, you think, oh, well, I already asked that, so there's no point asking again. But when you start asking questions over and over again, you'll start to notice inconsistencies and things that just don't make a lot of logical sense. You're going to hear me talk a lot about the logic train. The logic train, whenever I describe it, is just like, if I were in your shoes, or any human being were in your shoes, what would be the logical next step or way of thinking or reacting based on the information that you had at the time? If the logic train doesn't make sense, then you're basically saying, well, that's not how most normal people in that situation would react or respond. Or why would you react or respond that way based on that information? Unless I'm missing something or you're lying about something, that doesn't make a lot of sense.
And I was just embarrassed, and I knew that I deserved better. I knew that I had a frontal lobe. I knew that in that moment, I was so disappointed in myself that I was recreating my nervous system to be okay, to find men that just was like him, like my father. And it broke me. Like, it broke me to be pregnant. It broke me to go through that. It broke me to feel what my mom felt. Like, it broke me. And I knew that this is not love. When we went to when we went to the therapist, she was like, this is not love. She's like, honey, you're so young, and you don't deserve this, and this is not normal, and this is not how it should be. She told me that those butterflies in your stomach that you get with a man is just your nervous system saying, stop, please stop. Find someone else. And when she told me that, it stuck with me. I kept on going to see her. I don't have BPD, but she knew what I went through, so she would know how to heal me. And she made me have so much self-worth, because she kept on telling me that it's my choice to go back, and it is my choice. Your nervous system is regulated with him. He loves going the up and downs, being like, he loves me, he doesn't love me, he doesn't love me. And like, it was making me go crazy. So he got back from Bora Bora. I woke up on a Sunday when he was in Bora Bora, whatever day that was. I don't remember his birthday, but the only Sunday he was there for, I woke up at like 4 a.m. and I was like, he got with someone. I felt it in my soul, because it was a trauma bond. It was a soul tie. Like, it was so much in my heart that I felt. I literally freaking woke up and was like, yeah, that's it. I woke up with.
Did she have a Freudian slip there? She said, I lizard, like the wizard. Interesting.
It was so much in my heart that I felt. I literally freaking woke up and was like, yeah, that's it. I woke up with thousands of emails, because I blocked him when he went, because I was like, no, this is not for me. You know, you have fun, but you are going to Bora Bora, you're going to be with me. And he made that decision. I let him walk out of my life, and I was okay with that. I was doing so good. But then that moment when I woke up at that 4 a.m. Sunday, I woke up with thousands of emails, calls from my best friend. Her name was Sam, helping me through this. She's like, what the fuck happened? You're not talking to her. It's been like a week. You're fine. And I'm like, no, like, I know he was with someone. But he swear he wasn't. He was with all these guys. I took him back when he got back, and I went through his phone. And he had no photos, he had no videos, he had no text messages, and I thought that was weird. And then there was a group chat. And there was an emoji, like a wife emoji next to this girl's name. And I was like, you're with her. And he opened up and he was honest that he was with her. I'm gonna show you a screenshot.
Okay, we're gonna look at this here. Give me
There was a
1
group
second.
chat and there was an emoji, like a wife emoji next to this girl's name. And I was like, you're with her. And he opened up and he was honest that he was with her. I'm gonna show you a screenshot.
Okay, not anymore. And you begged me to change and grow. So, okay, I need to figure out who this is. I'm assuming this is Landon to, no, this is her talking to Landon about the situation and grow. And seriously on that, you can't see that. You're weak. And that's my friend. So I guess Landon was defending that situation of the wife emoji next to that girl's name. I was weak. Oh, interesting. We're seeing a pattern here of remember how at the beginning Landon was basically like it was a moment of weakness. Let me pull it up here. Landon's apology so that you guys remember what I'm talking about here. We're actually noticing a pattern in the way that he even apologizes about situations, right? I was weak. I was pathetic. I was wrong. I took my hurt and hurt you and to fill a void. So you see here, you see that? Let's
Like,
watch this.
I'm not going to come
Okay, watch. This is crazy. This is crazy. When you put it all together, it starts to make sense.
on here and ask for your forgiveness. I'm just going to, and I prayed to God that night for strength and clarity to never do that again. That is not who I want to be. That person, that I was sorry and that it was wrong. I can't believe I did it. But in the moment that I was doing it, I messaged that person that I was sorry and that it was wrong. And I prayed to God that night for strength and clarity to never do that again. That is not who I want to be. It is not what I thought I was stronger than this. I thought I was smarter than this. And I let something build up inside of me that I indulged in. And it is weak and it is despicable. And in this,
Sorry, I'm only laughing because it's literally like word for word exactly what he said to her. Like not even like he's just saying it in like on video as opposed to over text. I was pathetic. I was weak. I was wrong. I took my hurt. I had to fill a void. Like it's all the same thing. That's just it's kind of interesting when you kind of put it all together because it creates a story of like the whole human being. You can actually really see it clearly. I pray to you that I never feel this pain again, Abby. Watch this.
I'd like to just take full accountability. I'm not trying to, I don't think this should have been aired out, honestly. And there's so much. Oh my God. I thought I was stronger than this. I thought I was smarter than this. And I let something build up inside of me that, and I prayed to God that night for strength and clarity and that it was wrong. And I prayed to God that night for strength and clarity.
I pray to God that night for strength and clarity. Where'd it go? I pray that you never feel this pain ever again, right? So that's like one of his go-to. Like I'm just praying. I'm praying for clarity. I'm praying for strength. I'm praying that this never happens to you. He's praying for a lot of things. He on his knees a lot. His knees must be weak. His knees must got bruises on it the way he praying every day forever. He got to pray for like 18 different girls in relationships at once. Clarity, strength, away from weakness, pain, heartbreak, all he praying for a lot. He praying for a lot. Holy. He's sending books. This is in God's hands and your hands. I'm sorry for the position I put you in, baby. I'm sorry for wrong. Okay. Interesting.
He said that they didn't have sex. They did have sex. There was this. He sent me.
This is him saying, wait, what? This is him saying that you've hurt me in so many ways. I really wish we could start over and I think about you all day. I'd rather be with you. I have so much pain from all of this and the times of the past. You didn't care and I wish I didn't because I just want us to be okay. I wish it never happened. I think about what I saw at Playhouse and still get sick. What? I heard that you said something about me in August that really just breaks my heart even more. I wish it was never like this. I wanted you. This is, wow. This is, he must get something off of this because this is too much work. Like, if you're going to cheat and then send a whole bunch of books and emails and all this stuff, just like, this is what I call, some of this might not make sense to you. Have you ever had, chat, someone apologize to you, but then when you read their apology, they're not actually saying anything, okay? For those of you who may have don't know what I mean, it's like when you get a message, and even though the message is long, like there's no real like actual meat of the message. You're just reading it, and it's just like words put together, but it doesn't actually mean anything to you. In today's day and age, it'll almost feel like a Chat GPT response, if I could kind of say that. Like you read the message and you feel like Chat GPT could have created that response because it's just generically talking vaguely about hurting someone and being sad about it and regretting it. It's not really addressing exactly what he did or any sort of steps to fixing that or what the root of the problem is. It's just vaguely over and over saying, I hurt you. I'm sorry. I'm sad. Me sad. You sad. We all sad. Let's be together. It makes me sad to think about this. Sad, 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 sad. Weak, 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 weak. All this stuff. Same thing.
Me, like playing house. Like, what the fuck? This is the email. Apologizing. This is everything.
Waking up to remember things like this, so devastating after how things were going good between us. You were blah 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 blah. I hope your photo shoot went really well. Wow, this is the craziest word salad I've ever seen. This is something that never has to happen again, and I can ensure it. Please look how good things were, and believe me when I swear to you, my heart is in the best place for. Okay, this is making him look horrible. Let's go back and forth, chat. I want us to see the dichotomy here, right? The same kind of rhetoric.
Like to just take full accountability. I'm not trying to. I don't think this should have been aired out, honestly. And there's so much. Oh my God, there's so. This is not something that I want to promote or make seem like I identify with. This is not who I want to be, and I'm sorry. I don't know how I could be such a fucking idiot at times. Like throughout my life, there are times where I just do things that I know I shouldn't. And
so, okay, I wanted this. He said something very interesting here. When you talk to people and you ask them questions, especially people that you're dating, it's very good to ask them to expand on certain things. And what I'm trying to help you do in the process of us, having these conversations, this really honestly isn't about the wizard Liz and her man. I just want you to take some things to bank in your mind, not to believe that all men are bad, but I want to start to get you to train your ears and your mind to, when you hear certain things and certain rhetoric, to say, no, I need to explore that area. I need to dig deeper there, right? Because don't make your dates with people about just allowing them to endlessly yap about how much they love you and how beautiful you are and how amazing you are, how much they want to marry you. That's great. But put that to the side and then let men yap, okay? Let them yap extensively and let them feel safe enough to you to talk about their wrongdoings and the things that they are not so good about their personality or things that they might regret. The reason I'm saying this is because if you were having a conversation with Landon, let's say you were on a date with him, this would be a place where I would say pause and ask him to expand. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about.
I know I shouldn't, and I'm a fucking idiot at times. Like throughout I'm gonna be, and I'm sorry.
So listen to what he says right here.
I don't know how I could be such a fucking idiot at times. Like throughout my life, there are times where I just do things that I know I shouldn't.
Throughout my life, I just do things sometimes that I know I shouldn't. This would be an area where I would say, pause, okay? Give me an example of some of the things you're talking about, times where you just did something that you know you shouldn't. But you shouldn't ask this on a date in terms of like interrogating the guy and basically saying, oh, tell me right now exactly what you mean. Did you cheat on someone, right? You say it as, oh, that's interesting that you say that. I'm just trying to understand you better. What are some of the things that you think, that you've done or that were mistakes that you just shouldn't have? Because he knows that what he did here, because this is in the past, was wrong. So he's internalizing that, and that's actually what he's referring to when he's talking about the wizard Liz in this situation. But these are the type of things where let a guy spill to you and be honest about who he truly has been. And even if he wants to say, I've changed this, them, whatever it is, so that you can take that information in and bank it and decide if you even want to keep messing with that man, right?
This is everything. This is everything still.
The only reason I'm kind of skipping over some of these is because for the most part, they're saying the same thing over and over again. It's just very generic. This is honestly ChatGPT before ChatGPT, to be honest. Like he's just saying very generic stuff.
Found me at the gym and then he wanted me to talk to him.
Okay, so, okay, chat. All right. I do want us to touch on a subject that some of you will I don't know how some of you will take this, and I could be completely wrong. So I just I'll just leave it to say that I could be completely wrong about this. Okay, I want to touch on a little bit of a subject here because she made me think about something that I want to discuss. Right, so it's actually in this Q&A here where they discuss how they met. So for those of you who don't know, they basically said, long story short, they met at an airport. Thewizardliz was on her way to go somewhere, right? And they then met at this airport miraculously after Landon had messaged her on Instagram and sent her a book and stuff like that. And Landon said that he admired her and always thought she was pretty and things like that. And miraculously, they met at an airport. This story in itself sounds very romantical and magical and like a fairy tale, right? But, okay. I don't want to sound like a very negative Nancy when I say this. Certain things to me can be coincidences. Certain things to me also seem very, very strange. I remember when I heard this story when I first listened to it, okay? I was like, interesting, sounds like a fairy tale. But I also know sometimes accidents are not really accidents. And I've been on very dark sides of the internet to read and see how other people think and feel. And I have read, I'm not this type of guy, but I have read about men, even actually women, that have been very calculated in their approach to a particular person, in learning about that person and trying to gather information on them, and then basically organizing a way in which it feels natural they're meeting, but it's not actually natural. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. I believe I was reading, it was a Reddit story. It was like a video of a Reddit story. And this guy basically confessed that the girl that he's with now, his girlfriend, he actually planned and orchestrated a whole big strategy to be able to actually become her boyfriend. He, long story short, went out of his way to create multiple different dating app profiles, message the girl on those dating app profiles, learn about her, learn about what she likes, what she's interested in, what type of humor she has, where she likes to spend her time. And then when he was finally ready, after talking to her on various different dating profiles for a long period of time, he finally sent her a personal friend request, like found her on the internet, sent her a personal friend request, and basically embodied exactly all of the information he had been gathering from her for like many, many months. Then when he met her, because he was able to woo her and make her feel like, oh my God, you're saying exactly what I was always dreaming a man would say to me. You do exactly all the things I've always wanted a man to do. We share all of the same interests. We tell all of the same jokes, all that stuff. They eventually got into a relationship. And he said in his Reddit story confession that he never told her that he had planned all of this. Even now, she still doesn't know that he basically orchestrated being her perfect man. But he's with her now and he loves her so much and he's so happy to be with her. He just doesn't feel like he has like the balls to ever tell her. So when I thought about that, and then I hear this story about her meeting him magically on her in the airport. And I hear also about the fact that he followed his ex to the gym. It makes me have a cause to pause. So I'll play you this here and then, we could discuss a little bit.
I think we agree on this. I want to see upper. Okay.
So let me see if I can find the part where they talk about meeting here. Let's see.
So no way he could have known I'm in Athens. I will only post even she doesn't have Instagram. Because a lot of people think that you stalked me.
Which is crazy, by the way. First got engaged and Liz posted that video, there were some comments that were like, I think this guy is like an upper stalker.
Her.
He knew where she was going to be.
My friend does not have social media. Like she doesn't have Instagram and I never ever post my location for safety reasons. Never ever. I will only post even the background where you can recognize something when I've already left. There's crazy people out there, So no way he could have known I'm in Athens, and especially there. So the crazy part is, me and my friend, we completely walked through this airport. We got like 2 cookies and we sat somewhere where we weren't supposed to sit at all. It was not our gate. It was just this random place.
This whole story is just so crazy.
It's really crazy.
Yeah, go ahead.
And then we sat there. I had like a mask on and a cap, okay? No one recognized me. No one could recognize me. We were gonna get up. We were sitting there 5 minutes, get up and go to our gate because we had our flight. And then all of a sudden, like...
this big upper nerd walks up.
Like Landon walked by and I guess you saw me.
Yeah, I saw you from like... I guess, hold on, before you give like the key moment. So like
Yeah.
from my POV, like, yeah, I was dealing with, before I met Liz, I was in a relationship that was just so difficult for me. I had this attachment that I had such a hard time. Like I ended up meeting some people weeks and then a Mykonos, going to go to Mykonos with. So it was like an Ibiza trip for 2 weeks and then a Mykonos trip. And the people that I was staying with.
A lot of traveling, chat. He likes to go on trips for fun. We know what type of fun he likes to have, clearly.
Ended up trying to scam me a couple times. They successfully scammed like $20-something thousand. And whenever I landed in Athens, which is where I was connecting to go to Mykonos, and trying to scam weeks and then a Mykonos trip. And the people that I was staying with ended up trying to scam me a couple.
So I'm assuming Liz knows what he's referring to in terms of scamming. But the reason I'm actually pausing it here is because what type of scam do people do when you're going on a trip with your friends? Because do you guys remember when we were listening to his ex talk about the trips he would go on? He was going on trips with his boys and his friends and even sometimes girls. So, okay, one thing, was it actually a trip with his boys or was it a trip with a girl? So okay, see, this is how my mind works crazy, right? So now that we're putting a lot of things together, Landon is, it is possible for Landon to go on a trip with a girl. We've established that through his ex. This story is about basically how the trip fell through because the people who he was going to go on a trip with scammed him. Trying to scam him a couple of times. So that's why the trip fell through. Or could it be that he was going to go on a trip with a girl and the trip fell through because the relationship kind of fell through? I'm not saying I don't know the answer, okay? I'm just saying now that we're hearing other sides of his personality, it sounds interesting because from his ex, he wasn't going on trips with random people just solo. He was going on trips with friends or girls. So who is the person that could possibly scam him in this trip that he's discussing?
Couple times. They successfully scammed like $20-something thousand. And whenever I landed in Athens, which is where I was connecting to go to Mykonos, that whole trip got canceled. Like that part of it did. And so I was just sitting there and thinking, oh man, what the heck? Why is this happening? Like, God, I try to be a nice person. I believe you get what you give. So like, why is this happening to me? And I was like, you know what? Time to end my trip, go back to America. I went to go get my bags off the plane so they didn't go to Mykonos without me. And I realized I had left my backpack in a gate in airport security. And so I was like, wait, I really need that. I never lose this bag. So I went to go get my backpack. In that moment, I do remember feeling like I was being led in some way. Like there was just some path that I was supposed to walk down and follow. I didn't know why. I knew my bag was going to be right where I thought it was. I turn the corner, I get my bag. I remember I took a picture of it. It was like 4:30 p.m. I was like, oh, well, it's there. Okay, time to go home. I get my bag. I start walking to leave the airport. And as I'm walking, I try to be observant, but I'm like looking around, and then I walked a step and I felt like I entered just like a new dimension. Not to sound crazy, but I took a step forward and I felt like I walked through a veil almost. And then immediately,
she loves it. She loves the story. I can tell on her face. She loves it. Like she's eating it up. She loves the story.
Immediately, I sensed that I need to look up right over here, and I look up and I see.
It's okay. We're all human. I'm not faulting her for loving this story. Any girl would love her own princess fairy tale story like this.
Liz sitting. She has a hat on. She had like a mask basically covering her face. She was eating food, so like I can't even really see her. She's sitting by her friend.
So this is another one of my questions. I know I'm going back and forth, but it's very fascinating to me because. So, all right, the Wizard Liz. Let's just be so for real. her body type, yes, she has like a nice figure. She's a slender woman, but it's nothing like super abnormal. From my understanding as well, Thewizardliz also, let's see if we can, let me pull up her Instagram. From my understanding as well, Thewizardliz also doesn't have any sort of like, I'm like an FBI agent. So if we're here, we're going to be here. So she doesn't have any sort of like weird discolorations or any sort of like thing that would really be able to identify her. She doesn't have any, you know, tattoos, like nothing like that that would help you identify her if she was just like out and about, right? Like this is a video of Thewizardliz. Let me go here, see if this will be better for you guys. This is a video of Thewizardliz here, like walking, right? I know it's kind of small, but literally she's like a petite woman, dark hair, like nothing that would make you say, oh my God, like, you know, this is definitely her. So if she's wearing, my point being is she's wearing a mask and she's wearing a hat on, all you have to go by is her eyes. No tattoos, no like discolorations or some sort of like unique thing about her that would make you know, oh my God, that's Thewizardliz. So the reason I'm saying that is like quite a miraculous feat of, you know, just spectacular amazement that he would be able to recognize a woman who doesn't have any sort of discerning features on her that could identify her when she's wearing a mask and she's wearing, you know, this is like what she looks like, chat. Like it would be difficult to identify her when wearing a mask as being Thewizardliz specifically. We just have to be honest. So that's quite interesting that that he's saying that there. All right. So let's hop back to the ex and what the ex was saying about her being stalked at the gym here.
And it was just so toxic. He sent me email. Physically ended it with him in April. I moved to Miami. I graduated college. He made it all about him when I graduated college. Showed up my house with all these gifts and all these flowers. I said no. I respected myself. Finally, said no.
Good for respecting you.
Moved to Miami all by myself. I'm still in the same unit. Love it. I bought my house. I'm good.
But moving to Miami though, was that supposed to help your healing journey? That was the goal. Help my healing journey by moving to Miami. Interesting.
Good riddance of this man. He lured me back in. We were talking. We were having fun. I'm meeting his friends. He seemed so nice. So everything. And I couldn't get over the past. I couldn't get it right in my heart, being like the man I'm going to want to marry and be the father of my kids one day has respected me so much and disrespected me so much in the past. Like, no, that's not going to happen. He did not love me. I was in limerence. That's what it was. I fell in love with his potential. I fell in love with the man he could be. He showed me this freaking horrible person. And I'm like, I forgive you. So stupid. So stupid. I break up with him. I don't see him. He sent me thousands of flowers. He found my address. He found my therapist here in Miami. And she couldn't tell me that, but she was like, your boyfriend.
The therapist in Miami probably making a killing. Also, something very important to note here.
And like this and this and this, and I freak out. I'm texting him like, how the f with him? I don't see him. He sent me thousands of flowers. He found my address. He found my therapist here in Miami. And she couldn't tell me that, but she.
Okay, so this is another interesting thing here. We're seeing a pattern. So Landon has found her at the gym. He's found her therapist, based on what she's saying. And he somehow stumbled, though, across Thewizardliz. I'm not saying, you know, that I'm right or I know what actually happened or transpired. I'm just saying, you know, when we start to put together a pattern of behavior, clearly Landon is better than the average person at gathering information and finding information in locations of things that he shouldn't have access to. You know, I'm just saying. So I'm not saying that he necessarily did that with Thewizardliz, but this girl is claiming that with her, he did that, and he's very, very capable of that. And so it's quite interesting that the Thewizardliz situation would be a truthfully random occurrence.
He was like, your boyfriend, like this and this and this, and I freak out. I'm texting him like, how the fuck did you find my therapist? How the fuck? He's like, I wanted you back. I wanted her to have my experience with you. I wanted her to see that I love you. And I'm like, he didn't even deny it. He comes to my place and I'm like, you know what? You can come in. He's leaving all these flowers. I block him from the doorman. I do all of this stuff. And I'm like, no, you can come in here. My best friend and I sat right here. He's crying, begging for me back on his knees, hands and knees, saying what he did was wrong. He admitted everything, putting his hands on me, gaslighting me, cheating on me, making me feel like I had BPD.
And I learn, but I shouldn't have to learn this way. So I'm sorry. The final thing I'm going to say, and then
Like these things that are so traumatizing for now a 22-year-old that's wanting to let go. He didn't want me to let go. He wanted control, and he did. He had control over me. The moment that he didn't have control over me, didn't know what I was doing, I blocked him and everything. I stopped posting. I did all of that. I was like, you don't have control over me. That's why you want me. You don't even love me. You just want to be wanted. You just want to be wanted so bad. You want to be wanted. Like, who does that? I break up with him. I don't talk to him. I don't see him. After that night, I do not see him. I go to Europe. I meet my now boyfriend. We started dating. Later into it, we spent every day to each other. In Europe, I went with my girlfriends. I met my boyfriend. He lives in the same unit as me. Everything like that. My boundaries. I'm like, dude, I'm not looking for anything. Nothing. I kind of gave him some like tea, kind of shade about my ex, and be like, I understand, I'm like traumatized. I'm going to therapy. Like right now, what's best for me is not being in a relationship. Like my therapist, I've been going to see for about 4 weeks. I was going twice a week at the time. She was like, no, no, no. And if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be where I'm at now. I got verified on Snapchat. Snapchat, you get paid per how many pictures that you post. So I'm posting so much in Europe. I'm on my dream vacation. We went to 20 countries. This massive group of us. We're having so much fun. I get to Ibiza. He's in Ibiza, and he's with Ibiza. I've never seen these people in my life. I don't even remember seeing the girls. I just remember seeing him. He stalks me in Ibiza. He found out where I was going because I was talking about I need to go get Sephora. I need to go get makeup. Like my face foundation is not tan like my body, so I look like Casper, like James Charles. I look like James Charles because my foundation didn't match my body. He sees me. He comes up to me. He cyber stalked where I was going to be, and he was there in Sephora begging for me back again. My boyfriend was not my boyfriend at the time. I'm with him. Our bodyguard is in the car because I'm like, we're like running in and out. Park illegally. We're gonna be 5 minutes. Now we're 15 minutes. He's getting worried. My bodyguard gets out. It's already at 10 minutes. Okay, go to part 3 because I have emails leading up. This is the last and final video of Landon and our 1-year relationship, and I feel so much better. I feel so much better. I think this is healing something inside of me because I had so much carried shame from someone else's disrespect that I don't need to carry anymore. I don't need to carry the burden of someone else's weight on their shoulders for what they did. So at the end of the day, that girl that was in Miami with me on the boat talking about how nice that I was and how nice that he was, thank you, because you're the reason I made this video and the thousands of DMs I'm getting about everyone saying, were you the other girl? I was not the other girl. I will never, ever, ever be another girl because I know what that feels like. I know what that feels like, and I have too much respect for myself. So I left off where Landon finds me in Ibiza, cyber stalking me on Snapchat. I'm posting everything, what I'm doing, where I'm going. I posted it in real time. I was stupid. I didn't know better. I know better now. He comes up to me. He's like, I'm going to talk to you. And then my current boyfriend's like, do you want to talk to him? I'm like, no. He's like, he grabs my arm. My current boyfriend pushes his arm back and was like, she does not want to talk to you, dude. So that means that you leave. He makes a big scene. I hope that there was people videoing. I hope if you're in that Ibiza Sephora, please post a video. He was like, this is my ex-girlfriend. She left me. She's now with this Arab man. He's Colombian. He was making fun of the way that my boyfriend looked. And I was just like seeing red at this point. I'm crying. My boyfriend's like, don't cry. He's going to win. What you told me about him, if he is a narcissist, he is a psychopath. He loves seeing you sad. He loves having that control over you. He's like, be cool. Be cool as a cucumber, he said.
What? Her actual man is even having a I'd be seeing red if. Okay, Chan, let me not do this. You're as a man, your girlfriend's ex comes. I tell you, boy. As a man, your girlfriend's ex finds you guys in Ibiza and then approaches your girl now, talking about, I want to have a ain't no conversation about nothing. Ain't no conversation about a damn thing. You want to talk to someone, you could talk to me. Me and you, we could have a nice long conversation, just one-on-one, man-to-man. You came and found us in Ibiza? And you trying to have a conversation in Ibiza, bro? Nah, son. That ain't going down that way. You're gonna have to take a long flight back. It's gonna be a long flight back. You're gonna have to think about what you did, the money you spent together, but you ain't talking to her. You could talk to any one of these people in the Sephora here. You could talk to the cashier. You could talk to the customer service lady over there. You could go out. You could talk to the homeless man, right? Anywhere you want to go, you could talk, but you ain't gonna talk to her. And you gonna get your bags, get your things, right? All the stuff all the little gifts and trinkets you was about to give her to make this a moment, you gonna get yourself back on the plane. You can go back to Dallas. You're gonna find you a new bottle girl, okay? This is not your girl no more, okay? I can't believe he was even calm enough to have that talking to her about don't cry. I'll be telling Landon don't cry, because some things gonna happen to you. You come to Ibiza, well, I tell you, boy, it's crazy. That's crazy.
Amazing.
That's crazy.
He's a bit older. He's 29 at the time, and I was 22 at the time. So it's a big age gap. He's so sweet. We were about to have one.
Sorry, Chad. I'm so shocked that he was that bold. You have to understand how bold that is. What she's actually talking about. That he would go to Ibiza to feel like I'm just gonna go, pull up on her. Let's have in front of her. I tell you, boy, some people are different. I tell you, some people are different.
1 year. So he pushes him away. He's making a whole scene walking out of the Sephora. I soaked up my tears. I went into my eyes. My bodyguard comes in at the end, and we're like, yeah, we need to fucking leave. So he escorts us out. We pay, we leave. I'm in the car crying. I'm like, I'm so embarrassed. I'm so scared. We ended up going to Zara to go get some clothes for him, because I planned for a 1.5 week trip in Saint-Tropez and Ibiza. And then now after that, we're going to Lake Como, and we spent 3 months there. So we all just kept on like hopping. So that's that. He's sending me emails now. I wish I had every single email, but I kept on deleting the spam emails, and I wish I didn't, but there's a lot more. He sees us at a club. He sends us at a club. He sends 5 guys that he was with and one of his bodyguard to go fight my boyfriend. This is what happened at the club. I don't remember the name. It was a massive club. We had a great table. I'm going to the bathroom. So
let's get something straight here. This whole situation happened in Ibiza. Let's look quickly back at this Q&A, because I'm trying to remember. He said he was on his way to Ibiza, right? Let's see here. Let's go back.
That whole trip got canceled. Actually scammed like 20-something thousand. And I ended up meeting some people that and away from, and I was just kind of following this path that led me into Ibiza last summer.
You're following a path that led you to Ibiza last summer. Listen, like I said, we all make mistakes. I'm not a perfect human being either. So this is not about Landon bad, everyone else not as bad as Landon, but this is very bad what he's done. This is very bad. And it makes it worse because it's all coming together, and it makes actual sense now. That's why it's even worse. Because the lies are on camera and they're like 1-to-1. So okay.
Like really growing through and away from, and I was just kind of following this path that led me into Ibiza last summer. And
so obviously you notice her reaction. So from her understanding, this path that led him to Ibiza has nothing to do with his ex-girlfriend, following her there, stalking her, pulling up on. She has no idea. Like you can see she's like happy as a chipmunk. Look at her content on her face. She has no idea.
I ended up meeting some people that I was going to go to Mykonos with. So it was like
Okay, so now I'm going to make a couple of assertions based on this Ibiza understanding. So he had this path that was leading him to Ibiza, stalking his girlfriend. Now, she didn't mention, but she did say they went on multiple trips here. Her ex-girlfriend said that. Or sorry, his ex-girlfriend said that. So I'm wondering if, as he then learned the different places she was going to, he was making a trip to go to those places one by one. Because he talked about going to Mykonos and then it kind of falling through or whatever the case may be.
Ibiza trip for 2 weeks and then a Mykonos trip. And the people that I was staying with ended up trying to scam me a couple times. They successfully scammed like $20-something thousand. And whenever I landed in Athens, which is where I was connecting to go to Mykonos, that whole trip got canceled. Like that part of it did. And so
I wonder if his actual, because here's the thing. Okay, so I'm connecting a lot of dots here. My brain is like going a million miles an hour. The Wizard Liz's understanding of the situation resumes when she actually meets Landon. So when they actually connect and see eye to eye and he introduces himself, she introduces herself. But the reality of it is his story of how he actually got in front of her could really be anything. So she may have not seen his ticket, not had a full understanding of where he was going or where he was actually coming from. He could have been coming off of a plane. Instead, because the way he made it sound like he was going somewhere, then the trip got canceled while he was in the airport, and then he left the airport same time. But so based on my understanding, let's listen to this again.
And whenever I landed in Athens, which is where I was connecting to go to Mykonos, that whole trip got canceled.
Okay, so he went on a plane to Athens. He went on a plane to Mykonos. He landed in Athens. Then the trip got canceled in Athens. So I'm assuming he came back then to the airport where he met the Wizard Liz at.
And so I was just sitting there and thinking, oh man, what the heck? Why is this happening? Like, God, I try to be a nice person. I believe you get what you give. So like, why is this happening to me? And I was like, you know what? Time to end my trip, go back to America.
So now he's from Athens, on his way to Mykonos. Trip gets canceled going to Mykonos because the people he was going to go with scammed him. He's in Athens. Now he has to go back to America. So he gets on his stuff to go back to America.
I went to go get my bags off the plane so they didn't go to Mykonos without me. And
who is they go to Mykonos without him? Why would he say go to Mykonos without him if these people scammed him? See, these are the type of things that don't make sense, right? Because he's saying that he didn't go, the trip got canceled because the people he was supposed to go with scammed him. But he's talking about he got his bags off the plane so that the people didn't go without him? What?
America, I went to go get my bags off the plane so they didn't go to Mykonos without me.
So the plane didn't go to Mykonos without you?
And I realized I had left my backpack in a gate in airport security. And so I was like, wait, I really need that. I never lose this bag. So I went to go get my backpack. In that moment, I do remember feeling like I was being led in some way. Like there was just some path that I was supposed to.
Okay, let's go back to the ex-girlfriend here, and then we'll resume her story. Let's see if we can connect some of these dots here.
Bodyguards, I'll go. I was like, no, literally not that serious. I'm just going to the bathroom. Camilo's like, my boyfriend now. He was like, oh, I'll go to the bathroom with you. I'll walk you there. Because the girls had to go. Oh no, I was with the girl. Sorry, I was with one of the girls. She didn't speak English. She was French. So she had no idea what's going on. So we walked to the bathroom. In one of the bathrooms, 10 of those people that Landon was with come out. So I'm assuming they were doing or something else. He had hickeys all over his neck. The girl next to him had hickeys all over his neck. The girls are like shouting at me, and I'm like, I literally go into fight or flight. This is the second time I'm in fight or flight with him. And I'm just sitting there, I freeze. I freeze the second time. I'm like, how the frick does this man have me so terrified when I'm so like safe? Like I'm next to this guy. I'm so safe. I'm in control. I have the power. I freeze. He's like, I'm gonna talk to you, Abby. I'm emailing you. I'm texting you. Whatever he says, and I'm freaking out. And Camilo's like, go to the bathroom. And I literally freeze. And he's like, making me look embarrassed. And I'm like laughing. I was like, I make me look embarrassed. I made me look embarrassed. I stopped in my tracks. Oh, embarrassing. So we went through that with therapy. Thank God we did. EMDR has literally saved my life. And I get out of the bathroom. Landon's gone. Everyone's gone. Chilling. So there's the stalls right here, and then there's a wall.
I don't understand how her man currently is even allowing any of this to happen. No diss to him at all. You know what I mean? Everyone's different in their reaction. But I just can't even fathom. So your girlfriend's ex on 2 separate occasions has come and meet you guys in a different country, like basically followed you there and just shown up talking about, I'm about to talk to you right. You know what? Congratulations to that man, because he has self-control that I could never have. I don't even know, like at a certain point, it's like, yeah, you know, you're disrespecting my girl. So that's one thing as well. And you're also disrespecting me as a man, because like, bro, like you think I'm glitching. Like you think you're going to pull up like in a different country and you're gonna just demand to have a conversation with my current girlfriend? Like, are you crazy? Like, you're actually crazy. And it's the second time now. Holy.
So like stalls, wall, you walk around to wash your hands.
No. Some people are saying she wasn't his girl. At this time that she's talking about Landon's pulling up on her, she's with her current boyfriend. So her current boyfriend is watching this happen. Like, imagine like you're like out in a different country, like with your current boyfriend, and then Landon pulls up talking about like, oh, I want to talk to you and da. Right? Do you get what I'm saying? You're saying they weren't together. They're dating now. No, but so even still, what were they at the time? Talking? If you're going on a trip with someone, you guys are kind of serious. You know what I mean? You guys get what I'm saying?
Because we're not dirty. So I'm gonna go wash my hands. I look in the peripheral vision and I see Camilo and 5 guys. He's surrounded by 5 guys and 1 bodyguard. They're all yelling at him. I'm like, oh my God. Look at me starting another issue. I'm like, oh my God, I'm the problem. I am the issue. Like, I feel so bad. This poor innocent man has nothing to do with this, and now I'm gonna get fucking jumped. Wasn't scared. Camilo would have won. I'm not scared. But it was more shameful. I'm like, why does this man that has not done anything but been sweet to me have to deal with someone from my past? Why do I have such expensive baggage? I call it expensive.
Yeah, see, so like I said, they were, even if they weren't dating at the time, they were talking. So, I mean, and you got to kind of be talking to someone semi-seriously to be going on a trip with them. So it's not like they were nothing to each other or just friends at the time, right? Like they were a thing.
Expensive baggage, because it cost me a lot in therapy. Like, why do I have to put myself in an embarrassing situation where I'm looking like another girl that's crying wolf, like the little boy who cried wolf? Like, no, I look like a damsel in distress. Like, that's so embarrassing. That's so shitty. Like, I even was like such a low vibrational being to be attracted to these men. Like, now he's thinking that I have like no, like I was just in my head, and I'm so ADHD telling stories. I just want to make sure I don't leave anything out. He's emailing me. I think the last email, anyway, sorry, the fight.
Some people said they met on the trip. Isn't she not referring to the guy that lives in her building that's now her current boyfriend that she went on the trip with? Or am I tripping?
The thing that y'all are waiting for. He does, no one swings, no one does anything. My boyfriend is Colombian, so he does speak Spanish, and we're in Spain. Duh. So now,
Wait,
the GM, I think the last email, anyway, sorry, the fight. The thing that y'all are waiting for. He does, no one swings, no one does anything. My boyfriend is Colombian, so he does speak Spanish, and we're in Spain. Duh. So now,
her boyfriend is Colombian. He doesn't live in Colombia. So this is her man from her building in Miami that she went on a trip with. Am I tripping, chat? Like, that's how I'm understanding this story here, right? Both Americans that were visiting from Miami. And she says earlier in her story that her and her boyfriend live in the same building. Now, I don't know if they were living in the same building from the very beginning, but that's my understanding. So they knew each other prior to this trip. This isn't like meeting each other on this trip. You get what I'm saying? Right?
the GM pulls us aside. I'm drunk. I'm crying. I'm like, oh my God, are they going to kick us out? Everything like that. the guy in Spanish was telling Camilo that they had the bodyguard there because they said that your man was provoking them, and they're like, no, this is what happened. I show them the emails, and they're like, oh, what the fuck? No, y'all are good. We get back up, having a great time at the club. We get out like 6 in the morning, we see them again, and now I'm with like my whole ass group and our security guard. So I was like, I'm untouchable, I'm fine, I'm safe. Like I feel like a girl again. Like this is what I want to feel like, and I just felt so safe. So push comes to shove, and after Ibiza, we went to like 6 different countries after that. But the last email that I got from him was that, and I'm not gonna go through them. As you can see, it's 7:28. Ooh. Oh my gosh.
Please give
it's
me
never
closure.
too late. He's begging for me back, July 27th. That's that. And yeah.
July 27th. Hold up here. July 27th, 2024. Hold on.
I was just kind of following this path that led me into Ibiza last summer.
So perfect timing. Last summer, 2024, last summer. This is literally perfect timing. Okay.
That is my story, and that's all 3 parts, and that's everything there. And I hope this makes everyone understand our dynamic and how frightening it was for that to happen. I left out a part where I called the police on Landon, and I can't believe I forgot about that. But I did call the police on Landon December of 23, beginning in 24, because he put his hands on me, and we were in the car together driving home, and I was scared that he was gonna do it again, and he locked the door and I couldn't get out, so I was really terrified. So I did call the police on him once. And when the police came, I always told him, I was like, he's not the type that would like kill me, but he's definitely the type that would kidnap me, and then I never see my family again. And then I've watched you, and I realized, damn, like that's Landon, and it was his favorite show. So if that's not
What did you just say?
you, and I realized, kidnap me, and then I never see my family again. And then I've watched you, and I realized, damn, like that's Landon, and it was his favorite show. So if that's not a telltale sign, then I don't know what is. But I hope that everyone understands I was not the girl he cheated on with. I hope everyone understands that I did not even want to make this video. I hope everyone understands that that man is so broken and unhealed and so.
Let's look at this here.
Is Landon. His name is Landon. He is an American, born and raised in Texas, Dallas, Texas. He's 25. He's one.
What did she just say?
My fiance is Landon. His name is Landon. He is an American, born and raised in Texas, Dallas, Texas.
Thewizardliz just said that Landon is born and raised in Dallas, Texas.
Hi, I'm not really wanting to make this video, but I feel like I'm obligated to. I'm super nervous. I hate being so vulnerable and talking about a past and a part 2 of. No. This is
Sorry.
The last and final video.
I want us to see this.
Hi, guys.
Hi. Or we were not together when they got engaged. People were saying that. And we dated for a year, from 2023 to 2024.
She says it here somewhere, but she says in her video here that Landon is from Oklahoma.
I'm not really wanting to make this video, but
I want to see
feel
if we
like
can
I'm
find it.
obligated to. I'm super nervous. I hate being so vulnerable and talking about a past and a partner that has hurt you so much. and it made you feel so less. And even being in the public eye per se, like, I love to tell you what's going on in my life and like who I'm dating and like what I'm doing, but it's a lot when it's about someone who also now is in the public eye. And I'm not here to tell my story and hate and shit on someone, because at the end of the day, we need to pray for an individual that possesses so much.
Oops. What just happened? Oops. Sorry about that. I want to see if we can find that part where she says
Much hate and so much hurt in his heart to hurt other people physically, mentally.
Okay, we can't find it. Anyways, here's the thing. So now we're at the point where essentially Landon and so she's gotten off her chest everything that she wanted to say about the situation and how she felt about what had transpired. Now here comes like, this is like where the storm is. Okay, so there's gonna be a lot of back and forth because she made some crazy allegations and things like that. There was one major part of the story. I don't think she got to it here. Maybe she has it on her page somewhere and she referred to it, but that said part 3. Oops. There was a point where she did mention, here we go. Let's watch this show.
About this, unless it continues to progress. I'm here to talk about the screenshots of me warning Liz and then having a conversation with her on the phone all the way back in November and October.
So she's now basically going to say that she did send a message to Liz about him when she realized they were together.
October of 2024. I do want to talk about the fact that Landon has found my dad's phone number and my brother's phone number, and then reached out to them and was harassing them over and over all night and all morning, trying to get me to take down my videos. He also reached out to someone that I have a relationship with, that I was also in a content house with in Fort Lauderdale, asking her to persuade me to delete the video. And
damn, she's shaking.
I was even told by her, like, keep it up. Like, I had no idea and everything like that. But I just want this to rest and I want to move on with my life. I didn't say anything online for a reason. She, to my knowledge, was in a happy, healthy relationship, and I'm not going to strip someone of that. Like I always say, everyone gets to know a version of you because you keep on healing and you keep on becoming a better person. So in my eyes, I was like, he's engaged to a woman that if he looked the other way, she would drop him. So like, of course he has to be on his best behavior. He healed from everything that he did to me. He's moving on in life, thank the Lord, because I'm already moved on and I need to start like healing and becoming a better person and like focusing on other energies and like not giving him the energy to even be scared. But I did get a phone call from her back in September, the last day of September. I think it's like the 29th or 30th, don't ask me. I got my motorcycle stolen out of my building, and I don't know how the hell that happened, but it did. And they said that, you know, keep on like keeping an eye out. We're going to be calling you from no caller ID, and I know that from experience because I did have to call the police on Landon once in November of 2023 or December of 2023. And when the police come and they call you, and like I lived in the gated community, so they had to be like, hey, like open up the gate. They call you from a no caller ID. Like that dispatch officer calls you on a no caller ID. So it was like, okay, great. Like it's October 4th or 5th whenever she called me, and I'm like, okay, I answered the no caller ID assuming it was gonna be the police. It wasn't. And I have friends that are, I don't know what the correct verbiage is, but they're Middle Eastern and they have an accent. And she called me, she's like, who is this? And I was like, you called
They're Arab.
me, like, who is this? And then she said, my name is Liz, who is this? And I was like, I don't even think I answered, because I was like, is this the moment where I tell her everything? Like, oh my God, like, how does she get my number? Like, I was like, and I think that's when she hung up on me, and I'm gonna show you that phone call. That's when it was a no caller ID, and obviously Landon had this phone number because we were together, and that's when it was 5 days after I got my bike stolen. Like I said, the only reason I think it was her was the accent and the fact that she said her name was Liz, and then I was like, oh my God. And then I was like, I had such a heavy heart because I know what it feels like to be like going through your partner's phone and then finding like he reached out to like an ex, or that he reached out to other girls. Like, I know what that feels like because I experienced it for so long in that one relationship. So I was like, oh my God, like, do I say something? I'm going to my therapist, I'm asking her for closure and guidance. And then, oh my God, I'm still breaking out in hives. Like, look at this. Oh my God, I hate talking about this. I went to my church. I started becoming a volunteer at my church, and then I didn't bring any names into it because I was too embarrassed to even say that, and it's not my position to even say that, and I would never come on here to publicly like diss someone, and like that's just not the person I am to my core. I am a girl's girl to the end of the day. And then I thought, and I kept on having nightmares being like, no, I have to say something because she knows about me one way or the other, and I have to like warn her because I wish someone would have warned me. I wish I wasn't so blind, and she's smarter than me, and she has more of an intuition. I have intuition. I have a sick intuition, but I never listen to it. And now I'm never gonna forget that gut feeling in my stomach because I know that's a part that not a lot of people have. So it took me a month. It took me a month to even wanting to respond to her, but I did DM her and I did try to warn her, and she didn't answer. Like, she's fucking famous, you know, like she probably didn't see it. I didn't know to DM anyone else. I was just like, you know what, I tried. It's off my hands, it's off my back. I'm in peace. I'm happy that he's in a relationship and that he would never ever contact me again. I said I was gonna drop my restraining order, which I did, but I think that it's time for me to go get a restraining order because of the DMs and the harassment of my family. But he hasn't reached out to me, so I don't know, but I'm gonna show you the DMs. This is the DMs, November 12th.
So we'll read this together so that we can actually see what's in the DM. We're going full FBI here. So this is the chill. This is the DM here. Hey, let me put on my glasses. So she sent this November 12th. I'm assuming this is 2024 because November 12th, 2025 hasn't happened yet. Hey, honey, I'm Landon's ex. There's some emails you should go through of him spamming me and following me to Europe. I dropped my restraining order because he stopped emailing me, but he was emailing me into August begging for me back after I broke up with him. And he stalked me to Ibiza. He emailed me on 2 different email accounts to myself. Just thought you should know. Also, you also called me something from a phone number after I got back from Europe. I would go through something to see, just trying to help. I'm not sure what she said. I'm not trying to start anything, but be careful with that boy. I'm so sorry. I just heard what happened. Oh, so this is her reaching out again recently. If you're up for it, I would love to have a conversation. I was also a victim from Landon, and we have similar stories. Landon got me pregnant as well back in November of, I think, 2023. I know this is a lot to take in, but it's been weighing on my heart, and I would love to tell you my story and hopefully give you closure. You have my number. Feel free to text me. So this has created a large situation here, and I'm gonna play you guys a video so that you guys can kind of understand the context of what's going on. So she's saying that she sent this message to the Thewizardliz, and she's assuming either the Thewizardliz didn't see it, but she does believe the Thewizardliz knows about her. And so I'll show you guys what the Thewizardliz then responded with something here. So I'll show this to you guys like this. So if we go here, we'll see what the Thewizardliz responded. It's kind of strange.
So turns out.
So
the Thewizardliz first Instagram story, she accuses her of making fun of her accent, which Abby does not make fun of her accent. Basically, she just said she got a phone call. Someone said, "Hi, I'm Liz," in a Middle Eastern sounding accent, and ended the call. I don't see at all how that's making fun of your accent. Then she's just saying, you leaked his phone number. Instagram story.
Okay, so I actually want us to, I want to get an actual shot of the message that she sent. Oops. That she posted about, what the hell is this? About because she did post an actual story on her page. Where'd it go? I think this will be better for us to watch it this way. Oh, here it is. We'll watch it like this.
Abby also revealed that during Landon's relationship with Liz, she actually DM'd Liz trying to give her a heads up to be careful, maybe even share some of her own experience with Landon. But it looks like Liz never saw the message, which makes sense. Liz is extremely popular on social media. Her DMs are probably flooded every single day, so she might have just missed the message. I also want to mention I came across this Reddit thread that summed up my thoughts perfectly on the whole timeline of Liz and Landon meeting and getting engaged, because so many people on social media feel like it all just happened way too fast and something just isn't adding up. I was wondering why Liz was so defensive on her story that her and Landon were single when they met. Usually when someone is defensive, that means someone struck a nerve. Anyway, does anyone know when they met at the airport? Landon's last email to Abby was on July 28, 2024. Assuming they met that day, that means they've only known each other for 10 months. They allegedly got married within a few months, and within 6 months of knowing him, she got pregnant. Now, it's been several hours since Abby came out with her story, and now Landon is speaking out, and he just posted his side to this whole situation, addressing the allegations of his ex Abby. And I guess a lot of people started comparing him to Joe Goldberg, and here's what he had to say. I'm taking my power back. I'm done not defending myself. I'm done not respecting myself. I am not Joe Goldberg of the effing internet. Before Liz, I was in a 1-year relationship with the most toxic, manipulative, abusive, lying, cheating, and narcissistic person I know. After that relationship ended, all I felt was bad for them. I began healing, I prayed for them, I never spoke publicly about what I endured because why keep giving them my energy? However, now that they feel they have permission to jump on this international Landon hate train, they took this viral opportunity, which they have nothing to do with, to dox me, leak my work number, and make up lies, saying whatever they can for their own personal and monetary gain. I'm done not defending myself. Congratulations for proving yourself a fool. I am no longer going to be effed with. He then posted these photos, which I have to blur, but there's basically scars on the back of his neck. And he says, 1, how crazy is it for your abuser to claim you physically abused them when you have never and would never hit a woman even when they hit you, and you endured many instances of physical from them. Many instances provable in court. My attorneys will see you there. 2, ask yourself what their motivation is for doing something. Here's another example of lying, saying I creepily Joe Goldberg style found the same therapist when we moved to Miami, lol. And he says this was our old therapist, by the way, and it shows a screenshot where apparently this therapist says, hi Landon, how are you managing? He says not well, blank, which I guess he was referring to his ex. Felt she had permission to just come out and post false things about our past relationship, including stating that I somehow reverse engineered finding you as my therapist because I somehow knew she went to you. Reverse engineered, you both were initially supposed to come for a couple session, and then we had one individual session first. Now, I'm not saying...
Okay, so here's something important to take note of, right? I never want you guys to think that... So everyone tells their own version of a story. So I don't even believe that everything that the Abby girl says is completely 100% true, or everything that the Landon says is completely 100% of a lie. I always think that the truth lies somewhere in between. But what could be possible here is 2 people can actually be correct. He could have purposely sought this woman out who was her therapist to be his therapist. But with the information of knowing that they were initially going to come in for a couple session, maybe obviously it didn't work out because he cheated and everything happened and they weren't together. But then in his knowledge of the fact that that was the therapist that they were planning to go to, he then chose that therapist as his own individual therapist to basically get another opportunity of like being close to her or whatever the case may be. So in that kind of scenario, both parties can be correct. He followed her and got her therapist, but the way he gathered the information wasn't necessarily by stalking her. It was because they talked about, you know, recommending this girl in a couple session. They just never got around to it.
Saying these messages are fake, but it's so easy to fake messages on iMessage, just saying. He then posted this story writing, imagine how much trauma this inflicts on someone who actually wants to be a great father. So much proof. These are the text messages.
I can't block you until I know I'm not pregnant. So I'm assuming Landon's blue here, and the ex-girlfriend, this girl right here, this girl Abby, is the white. Okay. So let's see here. Where'd it go? Where did it go? There you go. So she says, in that case, I hope you're not pregnant. Sorry, Landon says, in that case, I hope you're not pregnant to Abby. If I'm pregnant with your baby, then we're going to do the mature thing and get rid of it, and you'll fund the whole exorcism. Exorcism. Have a great life, Landon. If I'm pregnant, I'm going to send you the bill for my treatment. So then he's saying fake pregnancies and manipulation, to think she was doing all this lying while meeting sugar daddies. I thought this was real. I hope one day you get something pregnant and she has a miscarriage. What? And then understands what she went through, because this is what I did alone. I hope you make her pay for everything. It's a pretty sick message to send.
If I'm pregnant with your baby, then we're going to do the mature thing and get rid of it, and you'll fund that whole excursion. Have a great life, Landon. If I am pregnant, I'm going to send you the bill for my treatment. Captions it, fake pregnancy / manipulations, to think she was doing all this lying while meeting sugar daddies. I thought this was real. He posts this, rating serial liar, by the way, and then he posts a bunch of text messages. Found out they talked for a month, made out, and went to Mexico together.
Cody, I blocked and didn't even kiss. WTF. I never cheated with any of them. Okay, no, this is just... What is this?
Went on dates with them. Just giving you a sense of the person. Thank God I saved all our messages. 5. Imagine dropping your girlfriend off at the airport to go see her girls in Vegas, when in reality she went to meet a rich, fat, old sugar daddy. Multiple times. Funny at this point. I believe this person a pathological liar, and I hate to even post...
That might honestly, what he said might not be untrue. Like, she may have done her own stuff to go take care of her situation. But then we also have to be factoring in, this is at what number of times that he's cheated on her. I'm not saying that it justifies it, but I do know that sometimes girls get into a mode where they're just like, you know what, F it. We'll be together. You do your own dirt. I'll do my own dirt. And it's like, we just both hurt each other. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying, like, what point in the timeline was that? You know what I mean?
To the internet, but I'm done not defending myself. This person does not care about what happened between Liz and I. She just wants to personally and monetarily benefit from my image. My legal team is beginning to litigate to the full extent of the law. Somehow all this made people forget I'm an intelligent, self-made, multi-millionaire serial entrepreneur, aka I'm smart enough to defend myself and get my bag. Thank you. Next. Liz, on the other hand, and she posted a photo of her baby and she captioned it, "Mommy's biggest blessing." All the comments are filled with people saying things like, "His biggest loss," "Wishing you all the best this world has to offer, Liz," just being...
Okay, so we're about to get into the backlash. So I'm going to show you guys the video of Thewizardliz discussing, like we were looking at before, Thewizardliz basically talking about the fact that Abby had sent her a message to basically warn her about Landon. So this is from Thewizardliz's story that she posted. Friends, that Landon's ex posted a video saying she had DM'd me before and that I called her. I never in my life have called any woman or been aware that any woman about other women in our relationship. She shows evidence of a no-caller ID number and claims she recognizes me because of my Middle Eastern accent. I'm not Middle Eastern. This feels like you're trying to make fun of my accent. Whatever happened between Landon and, I believe she's just saying her girlfriend, basically has nothing to do with me. I'm assuming that's what she's trying to say. Then there's another post that she made.
Then she's just saying...
My friend kept commenting that I never called her or have seen her DMs. Wait, what? And her comments kept getting deleted. I don't understand what your motive is. She also leaked Landon's phone number and email, and people are calling and texting him every second to unalive himself. I don't want the father of my child to hurt himself. He's already going through it.
Phone number and email, and now he's trying to hurt himself, and it's all your fault. Crazy, because Liz is the one that made this public.
Do you remember what I said, Chad, at the beginning about my prediction of what would happen? Let's go back to it. And I'm saying this is I have this man's baby inside of me. I'm really upset right now. But it is true he didn't go and meet up with her. And it is true that would be really, 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 really dumb. And it is true he would easily get caught. And he did get caught. But even if he went out with her, it would be even easier to get caught. And so my whole point being is that as much as I know all of you might want the Wizard Liz to go crazy and truthfully never see him and speak to him again, I don't think it's going to be that simple. Obviously, she has his baby, so it's definitely not that simple. And the reason I'm saying this is because I don't want any of you all to be disappointed if we all come to realize down the road she's still with him. She's just not showing everyone that she's with him anymore. So let's look at something here.
In the first place. Then
So then she goes on to say, this is the Wizard Liz here. I'm trying to message her personally now, but I just saw she blocked me. Girl, how are you going to lie and block me? And how are you going to talk about cheating when Landon just posted evidence of you having married
most disturbing
a
part.
sugar daddy whilst in a relationship with him? Weird. So it seems like I'm not saying having a change of heart, but seems like now she's doing a little bit of defending for the man that she villainized.
She accuses Abby of cheating on Landon while they were dating. Which, to that, why do you care, right? Why do you care what Abby did in their relationship? That should be so beyond irrelevant to you. The point is the point, which is that Landon cheated on her, he cheated on you. What she did should have no relevance to you whatsoever. And to me, this proves that she's obviously still in contact with Landon. They're obviously talking about the whole situation. Landon has done something to defend himself to her, which she believed, and now she posted this. This was her last story. Cheaters should date cheaters, whatever. I don't know, y'all. This whole situation is screaming she felt threatened by Abby for whatever reason. And I feel like it's always, girls support girls until the girl switches up to defend her man. But me personally, if I was Liz, I would just have a long chat with Abby off camera and not believe a thing that Landon says, because obviously he's not a very loyal, reliable source. Now is he? But yeah, I'm shook.
Here's where the big now we're kind of exploring a topic that I was scared would happen because I know how things go. We're getting to a place now where people are kind of now a little bit upset at the Wizard Liz because of how she's responding to the situation. And like she said here, the Wizard Liz is not being a girl's girl, which I think is very interesting. And I kind of alluded to that because I felt that with all this hatred that's going towards Landon, it'll start to turn towards the Wizard Liz if she now turns around and says, by the way, guys, I'm not actually going to leave him forever. I still want him to be in my life because my child, and I still care for him and all that other stuff, which is why, as a public figure, you have to be careful what you put online, because if you're truly not ready to completely move on with your life and you villainize someone and you go back to them, you're going to be the one that faces the backlash for this. So we'll get to kind of the most up-to-date information here, which is, I know this video looks kind of weird, okay? Because this is kind of not going to make sense here. This is not the Wizard Liz. This is the Wizard Liz's sister, okay? So she looks a lot like the Wizard Liz. And she's essentially going to speak up to what Abby said, whether or not the Wizard Liz spoke to her, what transpired. She's kind of being like the mouthpiece for Liz.
Hi guys, I'm making this video to address some stuff that are going on.
By the way, this is not Liz. Right? Yeah, this is not Liz. This is her sister, Sab.
Online.
Oops, where'd it go? What happened? What just happened?
Hi guys, I'm making this video to address some stuff that are going on online that are just false. Landon's ex-girlfriend decided to come on TikTok and share her story, which she has the right to. But then the last video, she is claiming that my sister called her, so Liz called her. She's showing screenshots of messages where in the second message she is saying that I'm the girl that you called in November. The evidence she's showing for this call is a no caller ID number. She is sharing messages where she is basically implying that my sister saw the messages. She goes on to saying that she recognized my sister's voice because she has a Middle Eastern accent. My sister is not from the Middle East. She doesn't have a Middle Eastern accent. Then our friend is sending that video to us. Friend, go and comment that that is not true. When my friend goes and comments that, all her comments get deleted. This video, which to us we thought like nobody was really gonna take this video seriously because, you know, a girl called a girl, whatever. All of a sudden my sister is getting all these messages saying that she knew that Landon was cheating, saying that she called this ex-girlfriend. First of all, my sister is not the type of person to call an ex-girlfriend. That's not the type of woman she is. We don't go and call girls and check our phones of our partners. She would never do that. The video seems harmless, but all of a sudden my sister is getting all these messages of hate, people accusing her of lying. When I see that video, I know what you're doing. Like, I know what you're implying. I know that you're implying that she knew. I know that you're implying that she saw your messages and she ignored it. I know what you're implying. Everyone on the internet, you can say whatever you want on your videos, but we know what you're implying and what you're trying to do. And if you were really a girl's girl and you really wanted you know, to come to Liz her defense or whatever, share your story, then why are you deleting the comments of our friends when they're saying like, hey, she never called you? I didn't want my sister to get involved in this because I don't want this story to get bigger and bigger. Liz was like, I want to message her. I want to ask her why she said that in the video. So then my sister goes and tries to message you, and she finds out that she's blocked and she cannot find your name. When I look you up on Instagram, I can find your name, she can't. So she said that you blocked her, and here's proof of the fact that she cannot find you on her Instagram. You have her blocked. That is the truth.
I'm assuming that's the Thewizardliz typing in the girl's name and not being able to find it to show that she's blocked. I'm just going to make that assumption, right? Interesting.
Sister goes onto her stories, tries to defend herself and say like, hey guys, I don't know why you guys are sending me all these hate messages over that video. I never called anyone. I never received any message. You guys have to understand that Liz is very hormonal right now. She's 4 months pregnant. Like, she's feeling pregnancy rage. She's trying, like, she's hearing stuff from all over. She's getting messages from all over. Like, she just took to her story to defend herself because she's tired of people lying. We're all...
Wait a second. Okay. I've never been pregnant and I'll never be pregnant. So I'm not going to sit here and say that I know what pregnancy rage will do to someone, but I'm confused what that has to do with I'll let her finish.
All tired. Like, I'm seeing the craziest thing. I literally deleted my TikTok because I didn't want to see these things. And I'm being sent stuff that I'm like, what are these lies? Like, people are just making up stuff. People are calling her a relationship coach, a dating coach. Like, when has she ever talked about relationships? Like, the only thing my sister talks about is literally standing up for yourself. She talks to people who have been victims of abuse. When has she ever talked about love? The only...
Am I tripping? The Thewizardliz relationships. Let's see if she's right.
I'm gonna become a mother. I'm gonna create a beautiful family for myself.
Let's see if she's ever talked about relationships before. Just in general.
The minute I broke up with him and I was like, you know what, I'm done. And I called all my energy back to me.
The music's gonna get us copywritten. Let's see if this is correct. If Thewizardliz doesn't talk about relationships.
Broke guy talk. No guy that is actually willing to provide and actually take care of a woman will ever tell you, what do you bring to the table? Shut up. Why do you think this is the best you can do? Why do you think that a person that disrespects you is the best? The bare minimum. Honey.
I wouldn't say that's accurate, that she doesn't talk about relationships. I think Thewizardliz talks about relationships because they're a part of life and they're a part of like growth. So this is just not true, but okay.
Only time she ever mentions relationships is when she tells you guys to walk away and respect yourself.
Isn't that, never mind.
That Liz brought this to the internet and said that Landon cheated was because she's always been very transparent with her fan base. From the beginning of her career, she's always been very honest. She has never portrayed this perfect life or a facade. She's been honest about her abuse. She's been literally, every time she has a fight, or even with my mom or with me or whatever, she is the type of person that goes and shares that with her fan base, because that's the type of relationship that they have. And the people that follow her know that. She's very transparent. So obviously when she brings on a partner on the internet, she introduces that person to her fan base. Obviously when he cheats, she is gonna share that because she is that is who she is. She shares those things. She doesn't want to show a perfect relationship when that is just not the truth. And even if she didn't share that, some stuff would come out and then she would also be the bad guy, because in these situations women always get the blame for whatever they do. No matter what she does, she will get the blame. She asked in her stories not to send him any hate from the beginning. Nobody wanted that. She just wanted to be honest and transparent with her fan base. Nobody knew that the whole world was all of a sudden gonna go crazy over a girl getting cheated on.
Only reason, they're going through their thing and we all make mistakes. I'm not better than them, but that's a little bit of a misstep there, because if she's going to say that she's doing it for the purpose of letting her fan base understand what's going on in her life, then if you really want to address it in a way where everyone understands the context of what's going on and what your feelings are towards the situation, then get on your YouTube and discuss it, so that they can hear you lengthy and extensively and how you feel about it, what you expect from them, that you don't want hate. The misstep was that all she did was post, Landon cheated on me and we're broken up now and I'm moving forward with my life. And then the next post was like, I'm selling my ring. You know what I mean? Raising my child by myself. So it's like, what do you expect that to do to your fan base's mind? Like, do you expect them to react? Oh, Liz, that's okay. They're there. You'll get better. We're here for you. We're not going to send the guy that cheated on you and left you 4 months pregnant and you have to now sell your ring and your whole life is blown up to smithereens. We're just going to not hate him. We're not going to care about this. We're not going to so this is why it's a little bit, I get what she's saying in terms of her wanting to let her people and supporters know what's going on. But then there's a way to do that if you really don't want them to attack him. The way she went about it seemed very much like she wanted them to kind of hate on him. But it's like, now that she is, and I get it, we all make mistakes, but now that she's getting a chance to actually see how much people are hating on him, she's like, wait a second, guys, like, he's still the father of my children. I'm still like we're not for sure, never going to speak to each other again. We're probably still going to have to live a life. So that's kind of like, I think that little bit of guilt and regret is hitting her now, because she's realizing like, oh my God, like I do still have to keep a good relationship with him. And like, if he feels like killing himself, that's kind of going to affect me. If he's getting death threats, that's kind of going to affect me. So I'm not saying that she's a bad person for posting about it, but I think that if her desired result was to just share with her friends what's going on with her life and not have this huge, massive hate train, there was a different way of approaching it that wasn't the way that she just posting on a black screen is never going to give the context that you want in a situation this complex.
So then after those stories, like, my family's going through it, Liz is going through it, everyone is trying to be there for her and the baby, his ex goes and leaks his phone number. And listen, as a victim of abuse myself, I would never ever victim blame any woman what happened between you and Landon, you have the right to share that. You have. And when you leak his phone number, we're getting calls from his family, from his friends. Everyone is calling us. Landon is getting death threats every second on his phone. People are calling him every second of the day, telling him to unalive himself, telling him the most disgusting things you can say to a human being. So my sister goes online and says, hey guys,
okay. So for those of you who are not understanding what's really happening here, I'll explain this to you in like PR speak. They still have a very much regular relationship with Landon. Not only does Liz have a relationship with Landon still, I'm not saying in a relationship with him, but a relationship with him, but also her family and his family have a relationship with each other. They are not like, so for any of you that are thinking that Liz is like, you know, just on this quest by herself, totally forgot about him, all his things have been moved out of her place, she doesn't speak or hear about him anymore, she's on this new journey by herself, being a single mother, raising the child by herself, never to hear from Landon. That's not what's happening. So because some of you might not be able to read between the lines of what she's actually saying here, they are very much still involved in each other's lives. So just know that when you're thinking about how much you might hate Landon or think that he's a bad person, the Wizard Liz might be presenting herself one way, but they're very much still collaborating on this having a baby thing. So just keep that in mind.
like, stop the death threats, stop this, I'm worried about him. Obviously, like that people are getting upset about the fact that my sister goes and says that, hey, stop sending this man, who is, by the way, the father of her child, who is also, by the way, someone she loved very deeply, tells them,
What did I say, chat?
hey, stop the death threats. You guys are canceling her for that? She's now all of a sudden back together with him. First of all, she's never getting back together with him. That's not happening. When she leaves, that's it. Stop making up lies. Obviously, nobody wants anyone to hurt themselves. If you're the type of person that sees that someone online got cheated on and you go to that guy and message him, unalive yourself, then there is something really, really wrong with you. And nobody here is defending what Landon has done. Liz is not defending him. She is trying to make sure that nobody hurts themselves. She is not getting back together with him. Stop with all these lies. And I know the internet, they just make up stuff, but just to clarify this, she is not getting back together with him. They're trying to find a way to co-parent. And what happened between Landon and his ex-girlfriend is going to court. So they can go and defend themselves in court, and, you know, may the liar get what they deserve. I just want to say, like, to the people that supported her and are with her.
Okay, so we're gonna watch a bit of a video that is coming from, she's a great creator. I'll start her out. Spill Plug. She's kind of discussing how people are now canceling the Wizard Liz for what she has said in terms of like the defense of him and how like her audience is now reacting to that. Oh, where's the sound here?
Shared a live screen recording yesterday and says that she never blocked Liz. So some proof that she reached out to Liz back in November, if you guys remember. That DM exists, and she even shared a live screen recording.
So this is Abby saying that like live on her phone, basically showing that she did not block Liz. So the narrative that she had blocked Liz and that's why Liz couldn't contact her or see her messages is untrue.
Yesterday, and says that she never blocked Liz. So something is not adding up here, and a lot of people are coming for Liz now because it seems like she is doing everything in her power to try and defend Landon, and a lot of people are worried that she is even going to end up getting back with Landon sometime soon. Now, I will say Liz might have not seen the message because, again, she is famous and her inbox probably looks like a war zone, but now Liz is saying her friend was trying to defend her in the comments and that they kept getting deleted, and then she's like, I don't get your motive, talking about Abby like she's scheming or something. You guys, Abby says all she was trying to do with this, she wasn't trying to send any hate towards Liz or Landon, she was just simply sharing her experience with Landon. She showed a bunch of messages, emails, videos. She was even shaking throughout her video and showed her rashes and hives because of the anxiety that was built up while she was filming this video. All the trauma coming coming back, having to pretty much relive this story. People just feel like at the end of the day, Landon did this all to himself. And the way Liz is trying to...
So now let's get a little bit caught up in how people are responding to this whole situation.
Abby seemed dishonest. They're saying that is taking sides.
Hi guys, I'm making this video to address some stuff that are going on online that are just false. Landon's ex-girlfriend decided to come on TikTok and share her story, which
Insta has changed their features. Please don't be convinced by their ridiculous. Sabina continues on this video defending Liz and coming at everyone for making up quote-unquote lies.
sister goes onto her stories, tries to defend herself and say like, hey guys, I don't know why you guys are sending me all these hate messages over that video. I never called any
for Liz. What a shame. Someone commented it's about her victim blaming Abby, and Sabina said she never victim blamed her. There's things you guys don't know because you don't know these people in real life. Hope everyone who's lying gets what they deserve. Her sister was also liking these comments. I'm honestly exhausted by this whole situation. I just wish Liz and her baby peace and quiet. I think it's ridiculous that he lied and manipulated, and everyone says she should have known better, as if women can see the future. This person said, why are you guys only focusing on this call? What about Ibiza and Mykonos? Why are we talking about this one tiny part of the story? This person said about Abby, she clearly was not lying nor making fun of an accent. I don't know where y'all got that. Abby mentioned that she thought it may have been Liz due to her accent. Liz does have an accent. Let's not dwell on the Middle Eastern part. Sabina ended up responding to another comment where someone said, this story is so messed.
Okay, so where are we now? Where do we stand now? And what's transpiring now? So this is the thing that I want all of us to kind of try and learn from this situation and future situations. Whenever you date someone, never rest until you extensively get an understanding of who that person is in totality. I know we can't all see the future, like she said, and it's impossible for us to know absolutely everything. And it's not that you want to have a pessimistic mindset, oh, everything's too good to be true. If anyone I meet is ever a good person, then that means it's all a lie because it's always a lie and everyone's all bad. It's not about that. But it's just about also understanding that when you meet someone, you're meeting them in a vacuum, in the sense that like you're not necessarily meeting their whole personality as other people might necessarily know them. And trying your best to gather as much information as possible will always benefit you in the long run. Because one of the things that we even saw from where was that video here of Liz discussing her, where she was sitting down here, where'd it go? I guess it's we go back here, and she's sitting down and she's talking about how she met Landon, you know what I mean? And we don't know the conversations that they had, but it's like one of those things where you have to have really tough conversations about someone's past, and even make a guy especially feel comfortable telling you the ways that he's not so amazing. Right?
His name is Landon. He is an American, born and raised in Texas, Dallas, Texas. He's 25. He's 1 month older than me. I'm a Gemini. He's an Aries. I met Landon 3 years ago, and we met online. He was the first man to ever approach me online and to congratulate me on my YouTube success and to say how proud he was of me. And he was so sweet. And I remember 3 years ago checking out his Instagram profile, seeing some pictures, and I thought, oh, it's a cute guy. But I just thought he's sweet. He recommended a book that I should read because it really helped him as well, and he was really into the same ideology as me. After that, we went a little back and forth, but then after that, I stopped answering really because I was getting into a relationship with my previous partner, and I didn't think that was appropriate. We stopped really contact. However, the years following, Landon would always like send me a message or try to congratulate me whenever I had accomplished something big.
So we don't actually know the whole timeline on this, but we can assume Landon probably led Liz to believe that when he was messaging her, he wasn't in a relationship. But now that we've had some more information in terms of his whole back and forth situation with his ex-girlfriend, Abby, I'm sure we can probably surmise that there was a little bit of overlap in terms of him being in a relationship with Abby and then sending her messages every now and again to congratulate her or check in on her and things of that nature.
Or whenever I was even going through something, he would always send me like encouraging messages, and that was just so sweet. And everything like went his own direction, went his own ways. Understand the whole situation a little bit better, I need to mention my previous relationship. So my previous relationship was for me a very big learning lesson, and it was a very clear repeating pattern of my father wound repeating itself in a partner. I didn't really understand it at that time, but the more it went on, I started to...
So very interesting, chat, how this is transpired. And where this is at now. I want to ask you guys, what do you guys think overall of the situation? And do you think that the Wizard Liz is going to get back with that man? Or do you think she's just going to completely move on, raise a child as a single mother? Or do you think it'll be like a little bit of both, where she's not fully with him, but they definitely are still in each other's lives, but they might just not be married or engaged, right? What do you guys think is going to happen? Someone says stuck in a loop. She is, but she will regret it. He's low-key narcissist incel type. Both. She will get back with him. Aries exes are the worst. Yes, she'll go back to him, or both. She will for sure get back with him behind the scenes. Of course, she's getting back with him quietly. She better leave. He's crazy. I don't know. I think he's going to cry himself to sleep. She won't tell us, but she will take him back 100%. She has no choice. They're going to have to co-parent. This is the thing about co-parenting too. And I've noticed this in helping other women with their situations, is that the co-parenting can kind of be a little bit of a trick, because when co-parenting is going really well, especially for the women, they start to believe, well, that maybe that means that we should be in a relationship. So like when he starts being really nice, really courteous, going out of his way for her, talking nice to her, treating her, oh, let's go out for dinner with the baby. Let's, have a nice play date with the baby. Oh, let's, whatever the case may be with the baby, a picnic with the baby, it starts to feel like, oh, we're a family, like we're doing these nice things, but maybe we should actually be together. That's the really difficult part about co-parenting from me helping other women, because as soon as that starts, the women start to feel like, well, that means that we should be in a relationship. So there's a little bit of an element of being unsure about if you're supposed to actually be together or not be together, especially when you're continuously seeing the person and having to like collaborate with the person to have your child. So I understand that can be very, very difficult. Okay, chat, let's hop into our next segment of the day, which we did a lot of reacting and things here. So you guys know what time is coming. For those of you who are new here, you might not know what time is coming, but I'll let you know, or the chat can let you know, because they should know what time is next and what segment is next, okay? It's a special time. It's an amazing time. It's a time where you're going to laugh and you're going to cry. Don't look at your clock. Don't look at your watch. Don't look at your phone. Don't look nowhere else in your entire home. If you don't know the time, I'm going to tell you the time. Discord time. Yeah. Okay, chat. So Discord time is essentially where all the amazing members of our Players Club Discord community get an opportunity to ask me a question about their relationship or their situationship. So hopefully you don't end up in the same situation as the Wizard Liz. And I give my advice from my perspective on that. Now, I'll tell you the different ways in which you can submit your question to me, and I'll read it out live on this show. So the first way is by going to the link in my bio if you're watching this on TikTok, or in my description if you're watching this on YouTube. Click where it says Discord. It'll take you right to our Players Club Discord, and then you can submit your question into our relationship advice forum. And it is a first come, first serve forum where I answer the questions. I'm only one person, so it takes me a while to answer the questions. Now, if you ask your question today, it'll be hard for me to get to it just because there's a queue, right? But if you're someone who's impatient in terms of getting your questions answered, you can ask your question in our premium relationship advice section, which is essentially the same as our other section. It's just with this one, I read these questions out first before I go to the free section. So the way that you access this is by going to the link in my bio on TikTok or the link in my description. You click where it says premium Discord relationship advice. You click that. It's going to prompt you to donate to the show. In your donation, it's going to ask you to put in Discord username that you have and the title of your question so that I know that that's your question and that's you. And then you'll get a chance to ask your question that way and skip the line. For those of you who want to ask me a question privately and you don't want it read out on the show, you don't want your information out there, you can also send me a question through our private hotline by going to the link in my bio on TikTok or in my description on YouTube. Click where it says private relationship advice, and then you can submit a question to me that way and I'll answer it with a voice message. Okay, let's start off with our first premium question of the day, which comes from Player Gal. All right, Player Gal says, dating tip. Tomisin, first of all, thank you for all your useful advice. I love your show and I'm learning so much. I've been noticing that when I'm on a first date and the guy sees me for the first time, I usually notice that he gets a bit nervous and there are a few seconds of awkward silence that I immediately cut with a question to ease the pressure. But since you tell us so much about not easing the anxiety of men, is this a bad thing? Should I hold myself back and let the guy feel nervous? How nervous he is? Thank you. You are the best. Nothing wrong with a little bit of silence when you're on dates, okay? Especially if the guy is asking you out on the date, it kind of is him trying to impress you. So that's okay. Don't be in a rush to fill every second of silence with like conversation. It's okay. Like, trust me, silence is not gonna unalive either of you. It also, I think, is good for men to recognize that they are nervous on the date. It reminds them of how special this date is for them, how important and how little they want to mess it up. I think that as a woman, you know, there are times to ease a man's anxiety, but I don't think that those times are at the beginning, especially as it relates to like being around you and dating you and seeing you and all that other stuff, because you want him to kind of feel like this is really important. This is big. I'm nervous. I want to, you know, kind of put my best foot forward here. So you just sitting and doing nothing and smiling and looking into his eyes and being beautiful, that's good. It makes you more like a goddess fairy, sprinkling fairy dust everywhere. And it makes you a lot more magical. And trust me, when men feel you're more magical, they put a better effort forward. Okay. Someone said I'm done confronting men after this. That's funny. Okay. So this question comes from God's favorite child. Okay. Great name. Can we? Hi, Tomisin. I'm 29 and sorry, the guy I'm dating is 29 and I'm 28. We have been dating for 6 months now, and we're still learning about each other every day. He's always been the person who reaches out and checks up on me, and we don't message each other often. He only checks up on me once every 2 to 3 days and plans to meet up once every 2 to 3 weeks if we are busy. Interesting. One, can I also check up on him once in a while, or since I'm not, I think you meant to say his girlfriend yet, should I not reach out? No, don't reach out. Especially you guys are still in the beginning stages. What reason do you have to reach out? If he's only checking up on you once every 2 to 3 days and he's only interested in going on a date once in a while every 2 to 3 weeks, what are you supposed to be doing there? Reaching out to do what? Talk to him when he hasn't shown interest in talking to you? Stimulating him to want to go out on more dates? If he feels like 2 to 3 times or once every 2 to 3 weeks is enough for him, then so be it. Now, if that doesn't work for you, then you might have to find a different guy, right? But I never advise any of you to try to stimulate a man into wanting to spend more time with you than he wants to. If he doesn't feel it's necessary to spend more time with you than that, or he's not asking you for more of your time or more access to you, you don't need to be doing anything to make him want that or make him see that or feel that. Can I also plan a date with him once in a while? For 6 months you've been dating him? No. I wouldn't plan a date with him once in a while until he's right. If you've been dating a guy for 6 months, I want him to be pressing you more than you're pressing him. My concern is if you guys have been dating for 6 months and he's still at the 2 to 3 week frequency and he doesn't have any desire to see you more. My concern is if you start thinking about how you're going to plan dates, he's going to stop doing that. I would love, until you start getting to the point where he's pressing you like, I want to see you more, and you're the one saying, I don't have enough time to see you. That's the only time I'd say you start transitioning into planning dates, right? I don't want you to be thinking about planning dates and this guy isn't even at a place where he wants to see you once a week yet. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's why I kind of want to adjust your timeline there. As he has always been the one who reaches out and plans things. Sure, no, we keep it going this way. He says he misses me a lot. of times whenever we are busy and unable to meet. But so if that's the case, then he should be asking you out more times than every 2 or 3 weeks. Do you get what I'm saying? If that's true. But I have never said it back. But there was one time he asked me if I miss him, and I told him he will find out in person. That's actually a great answer. We met, and I showed him how much I missed him through actions, and he knew I missed him. Is it okay to keep doing this and never say it back, or can I say it back? I actually like what you did there. You basically, you transition the, I don't want to have silly, stupid talk over text. If you really actually miss me, then you'll pull up on me in person. I actually think that was a perfect response. I would say do that every time he does that, because you don't want your messages to become, oh, how was your day? I miss you so much. Oh my God, send me a picture of you. Oh my God, you look so cute today. Oh my God, you're so pretty. Oh my God, I was thinking of you all. Because at the end of the day, after a while, you'll start to hate those messages when you realize those messages won't come with any dates. So if you just literally transition the, oh, you want to get and I miss you back, you ain't getting that. But if you want to feel my presence, feel my energy, then you take me out on a date in person. And then when we see each other in person, you'll feel that presence and that energy. But we're not going to be doing this over, oh my gosh, I miss you so much. I can't believe I want to see you again. Like, because if that's not going to come with the date, it's useless to you. He has a very close best girlfriend or best friend. That's a girl. And they have been besties since they were little babies. I'm not jealous or concerned at all, but she has been very caring towards him and currently dating a guy who looks very similar to him as well as personality. Should I be worried? Yes. Let me say it like this. This girl and guy best friend thing is not a thing. It's not a real thing, okay? Maybe Gen Z has adopted this mentality that we hold hands and sing kumbaya so we're all friends forever. That's not how real life works, okay? I'm not saying that it's bad for a guy and a girl to be friends, but this whole idea that me and this girl are best friends really means one person, I'm not saying both, but one person out of that best friendship has actual romantic feelings for the other, and they're using best friendship to hide the fact that they truly have real romantic feelings. They just don't want to act on them. They're either scared or fearful to act on them, or they feel like it won't be reciprocated, so they'd rather have that person in a friendship sense than to not have them at all. Now, depending on the situation, it could be one person or the other who has those romantic feelings, because it might not be your guy, it might be her. And in some cases, it might be the guy, right? But it's always one person. Vicky said, I disagree. You just might be the person who doesn't have the feelings. See, this is the thing too. You can be in a situation where you have a guy best friend and you're thinking in your mind as a girl, I don't like this guy. I see him as a brother. I would never in a million years sleep with him. And you're convincing yourself that he feels that same way about you because that's how you truthfully feel. But trust me, I'm a guy, okay? Me man. Guys don't necessarily feel the same way about you as you feel about them. And the truth of the matter, I'm a guy. I have guy friends. I sit down, I talk to them every day. If you were to offer that guy friend that you're thinking he's like a brother to me, I would never sleep with him in a million years. If you were to offer that guy friend seriously, hey, I've been thinking about you. I think we could go deeper than this. I think, I want to sleep with you and I think you're super attractive. I promise you, you'll be shocked at the way that your guy friend that's like a brother to you, you'll be shocked at how he'll respond and how fast he'll flip. Okay? I'm just saying that to say sometimes we can project what we feel onto someone else and say, oh, we're best friends platonically. He doesn't feel anything for me because I don't feel that about him, right? Vicky says men and women can be friends. We both see each other as family. That might be how you feel. That isn't necessarily how the other guy feels, right? Even if he tries to convince you of that, given the opportunity, trust me, I've seen it, people will change very fast. Now, friendship is one thing, but best friendship of, oh, we talk every day, we talk, like we keep in each other's lives, we hang out one-on-one, that's not a thing. That's not a thing. He just told me he got burnt from cooking, minor ones. Is it okay to show care by following up the next few days, like how he's feeling, or maybe bring cream or something to him? Or is it too much investment effort for this situation? Sure. I mean, the next time you see him, you can bring cream for him if he had a minor burn. But how many days until the burn is like not even a burn anymore? You know what I mean? You don't need to be like speeding over to his house because he had a minor burn. Okay, you're not a helicopter parent. He also told me his girl best friend, who is his flatmate. What? He also told me his girlfriend, best friend, who is his flatmate. For those of you who are American, don't understand what this means. This is roommate in UK terms. Okay, UK people, they say flatmate. This just means roommate. So his girl best friend is also his roommate. I don't know why you wouldn't lead with that before, but okay. And she has given him some cream to put on it. So what are you doing? Are you guys having a cream competition? What is this? Is this a cream competition? Who's going to put cream on that man first? I want to put cream on him. No, I want to put cream. No, come on. Come on. So is this even really about you giving him cream or doing anything for him? Or is it about now you're feeling a little bit jealous that his flatmate, AKA his girl best, I can't believe this, is, taking care of him? This is a problem. This is a big problem, because there's no possible way for you to manage or to be aware of what's going on when they're roommates. Okay, I want you to understand what's actually going on here. Every day that he goes home from work and even from seeing you, from having dates with you, he sees that girl. So not only is he sharing everything about your relationship and situation with her, she's constantly in his ear giving her opinion of what's going on in their relationship. And when you're gone and when her boyfriend's gone and it's midnight and, there's just nothing to do, nowhere to go, on a Tuesday afternoon, they're together every single night. Every single night. You better pray that girl is not even the slightest bit attractive. You better pray. And you better pray she's not even, you kind of said it, because you said that she's dating a guy who looks just like and acts just like him. But I tell you, boy, you might need to curb your expectations of this situation for now. Should I not bring him any? Don't bring him a damn thing. No cream for him. Okay. I'm not sure bringing him cream would show that I'm desperate for him or showing that I care. As we are now in the 6-month stage, should I be worried if he isn't asking me to be like his girlfriend officially yet? I think right now your main concern should be getting to the bottom of this flatmate, roommate, girl best friend situation. I've seen some things, okay? And I want you guys to really understand this. Like I've lived in the heart of Toronto, like in the Strip, like right where, you know how they talk about Miami Brickwell, like in the Strip where, think of where all the clubs are, all the entertainment is. I've lived in the heart of a major city, right? Toronto's just like a smaller New York, not even that much smaller. Like, I want you to understand, whenever you hear things like, oh, my roommate is of the opposite sex, and then you hear, oh, we're besties. Certain things you just have to accept as the truth and not try to lie to yourself about, okay? Roommates, besties that find each other decently attractive is a recipe for disaster if you're dating that person, okay? Now, if they're both single, do what they want. But I'm telling you, it's a recipe for disaster, because the drunk nights, the nights where they're sad, the nights where things aren't going well, the nights where someone's heartbroken, they're always together, always around each other, and there's no one there to watch them, no one there to hold them accountable, nothing. And I've seen some things, and I've done some things, and I've been some places. Life ain't sweet like you think it is. And people will tell you all types of things. But I'm telling you, some things happen in the dark that people they'll just say, hey, me and you, we locked in. We ain't going to talk to no one about this. And I'm concerned that this could be one of those, hey, we locked in. No one's got to know about this type of thing. I'm just saying this because I want to be an adult and I want to tell you the real, not the fake. That's the real. Okay? So I want you to get more involved in understanding his relationship with her, what's transpired in the past, where they are now, and what's really the real about their friendship, their best friendship. Okay? Because I feel like right now you're living in an idealistic scenario and it's not necessarily accurate to what's really going on. Trust me, I've seen some things. Okay, I've seen some things. Let's go on to our free section here and I'll answer some of these questions. Okay, let's see. So we'll start off with one that comes. Oh, did I answer that one? Did I answer this one? Okay, I didn't answer this one. When is blocking okay to do? Not trying to get him heard. Oh, like make him feel heard or give him an ego boost. Hi, Tommy. Did I do the right thing by blocking him? Would love your opinion / perspective as a man. I didn't want to boost his ego by giving him unnecessary attention by blocking in this case. Dude, I briefly saw, the middle-aged liar, scammer, alcoholic, dusty with anger, DV issues, unfollowed me and removed me as a follower. Then it's done. I understand he can do what he wants. I confirmed he's seeing a girl, like a new girl, because he's made her a playlist and privated the one he made for me. I have the gift of private investigation. I understand people are allowed to move on. Regardless, I have the right to my feelings and found it annoying and it bothered my spirit and I don't want to give this any more attention or energy. So I was like, F it, let me block his number, email, Facebook, and Instagram. I don't want him to come back. I'd love to know your opinion if I did the right thing, given the fact that he chose to unfollow me, because I was debating on whether I should remain unbothered and not block. He peeped his Instagram stories since even before he told me we should go our separate ways, since he gave me major icks. Or if my feeling and my ego is a tad bit bruised, hence why I'm a little annoyed and sad. There's nothing wrong with that. Since one of the accounts he unfollowed is public, he technically could see what I'm up to. Not that I'm assuming he would, but I figure to revoke access to my life completely altogether by blocking him everywhere. If he wanted to unfollow me, I don't see a point of him having any line of communication because I'm not interested. And he told me he wanted to try again later down the line. I used your tip and agreed and said, okay, even if there is no future together. I am to be conflicted, avoidant with guys. So I think him unfollowing me is a green light to block. Your male perspective is appreciated. Part 2. For reference, I haven't said a word to him and not interact with him on anything since I agreed we should go our separate ways via a text a while back. I did mute and restrict him on IG, so I don't know if he could see that once he told me to go our separate ways months back, I didn't want to unfollow, block him to show I'm unbothered. I had peeped my IG when I was managing it and peeped his playlist a couple of days ago. I love to not validate his ego, especially since mine is bruised a little bit. Okay. Let me see here. So this is kind of the same. I'm just trying to see if there's anything that pertains to it because I already have my answer. I think that removing him is unfollowing him and blocking him. Well, he already kind of removed you as a follower, but blocking him is perfectly fine. See, what you have to understand in this scenario here is that the most important thing is your sanity. So if you're feeling like you're starting to because he removed you as a follower, you're like, oh my gosh, this guy thinks he's bigger than me or whatever the case may be, and he's just moving on, whatever. The moment you start feeling bothered about it, just block him for your own sanity of feeling like, all right, you know what, it's done. He's not going to be able to see any of my profiles or check up on what I'm doing either. So it's fair, right? He unfollowed me. He's private. I can't see what he's doing. He can't see what I'm doing. We're both moving on. So in that scenario, the reason I say blocking can also be a tool is blocking shouldn't be for like, oh, I want to show him I'm done, but I'm not actually done. Blocking should be for yourself when you know personally you want to move forward with your life and you don't want to be constantly reminded of that person and going back and over again in your mind. So in this scenario, it's actually really, really good for you. Like you can block him so that you can properly move forward with your life. Part 3, also, can you provide your perspective as to why he or any guy would say, I'm serious about you and want a serious relationship with me, but then date someone, I think you meant say, like within a month or a few months after? Does it speak to a guy being an opportunist, as you said in the past? I know people are allowed to move on, and some subset of guys, such as him, don't have integrity and lie. He lied about a major bad things, as I mentioned in the past, but I'd like to know your perspective. Well, you also have to factor in your relationship was basically ending anyways because he was going to move to Canada, Vancouver, I believe, and you had no intention of moving to Vancouver. So like your relationship was already going on a path of like it's going to end because what he wanted for his life and what you wanted for your life, it was not in the same, like you guys weren't even going to be on the same page or in the same place. So that also could be a factor. Now, what his plan is with his new girl, we don't know what his plan is with his new girl. I wouldn't necessarily say that's being an opportunist, but if one relationship doesn't work out, it's not a crime for him to explore new relationships. I just think that for you and him, it wasn't aligned in terms of what you wanted, the type of relationship you wanted, the type of man you wanted, which is perfectly fine. And if it wasn't working out for him either, that's perfectly fine that you guys both recognize, hey, even though there were some parts that we liked about our relationship, there's also other parts that we don't like, and moving on is okay. LP Baby says, why glaze me up though? Like, you mean like why gas you up? I mean, the person you're with, you're gonna at the time believe that you want to be with them, and that's the relationship or the person that you want. And I don't want to sound, like a negative Nancy, but people are always going to say that when they're with you. And then when they're not with you, they're going to move forward and they're going to do their own thing. So you can't expect him to you can't expect it to like, oh, well, because he's not with me, he should be devastated and begging for me back and never see his life being able to move on aside from me. Like, that's just not real life. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what someone says to you about how much they love you, care about you, you're the only person they ever see. Like, eventually, if you guys stop speaking and you guys are no longer together, like, they'll move on, and that's okay. And you should move on as well. So for your best sanity, just block him so that you can move on with your life and start evaluating what transpired in this relationship, why it didn't work, and then properly build yourself up for the future. Okay. Let's go on to our next question here. All right. So this one comes from Tam. I like that Shigo profile picture. Should I text him? Okay. You're probably not going to like my answer. I'm 29. I'm dating a guy who's also 29. Kind of a long story, but I'll try and keep it short. We saw each other for 5 to 6 weeks, and he was ticking most of the boxes for me emotionally. I had lots of friends give me bad advice, advising not to go with him because he had money. Wait, what? Because he had no money. How is that bad advice? You had lots of friends give you bad advice, advising not to go with him because he had no. That's actually good advice. If he has no money, I'm not saying that you should only go for a guy if he's rich, but if he has no money, he's not even able to sustain himself. How is he going to be able to provide or do anything for you? Like, that's actually not bad advice. He's a mechanical engineer, and so how does he have no money? And professor at how does he have no money then? Okay. But was also looking at consultancy jobs. So really, it never crossed my mind, and I sort of just wanted to get to know him and have fun and not worry about all that. Okay. Like, I wouldn't go with a guy that I didn't think could support himself. So what do they mean by he has no? I'm confused. What do your friends even think is no money? Do your friends think no money is he's not a millionaire? That's like less than like 5% of the population of men. Anyways, about 2 weeks in, he invited me over because his arm was fractured. I told him we should just hang out another time. Then the next morning, I just woke up to a text from him saying, I love you too. Was this a mistake? I had no idea what he meant, And I was like, really? Feeling insecure, etc. And he was like, I'm always here for you. And we spoke on the phone and I said, I love you. Why would you, wait, what? What? Wait. What? He woke up randomly and he says, I love you too. You never said I love you. Why did you just gloss over that? Feeling insecure, and he was like, I'm here for you. And we spoke on the phone and I said, I love you. And he was like, oh my God, finally. And he was like, you're amazing. For context, there was some BS that happened to do with me and him, but I was over it by this point. It gave me a lot of anxiety and I kind of spiraled. But I probably did a little desperado wanting to see him, thinking that he wanted the same. So he invited me to his work. What? What? What do you mean he invited you to his work? Even though I was saying, no, let's do it another time. But he was like, trust me, which was at an outdoor cinema. And he asked me to give him a BJ at the park. So after that, I didn't talk to him for 2 weeks. During that time, he tried to call me to check up on me, but I didn't give him much. Then after a while, I was missing him. And what did you do? And so I messaged him one morning and he hit it off again. Yeah. And he thanked me for messaging him, meaning question mark. But then he invited himself over to my house, which I shouldn't have let happen. I wonder where this goes. I told him I wanted to go to a restaurant, but he was adamant. He made a barbecue at mine. I'm not laughing at you, but I'm trying to understand. He forced his way to your house and was adamant about barbecuing at your house. But there was one thing on his mind, and let's just say he got it. Let's take a stretch here. Let's take a stretch here, Chad. Let's take a stretch here. Oh my God. You know, it's sadder because I feel like when you guys send these messages in, you know what you did was wrong. And even in the moment, it's like you know what you were doing is wrong, but you just can't help yourself. What is it? Chat, tell me what it is. Because we've been doing this show for a while now. So I know some of you are hearing my voice in your sleep, in the shower, when you're going to bed, in your dreams even, when you're on your dates. So some of you are knowing, oh, what I'm doing right now is very wrong. It's very bad. I'm being a very bad girl. But explain to me, why do you still do it then? Because I know some of you have the information. You've been following me, watching me for a while. So what is it? Is it ovulation? Is that what it is? The ovulation monster getting to you, you just can't think straight? What is it? Are you that horned up that you just know this is very bad, this is very wrong, and you just can't help yourself? What is it? What is it? I basically just gave it, but knowing I effed up, but it was purely emotionless for me. So, but then why? I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this. I can't jack this. I can't co-sign this. Because for you to be like, I knew what was coming, you know, before it even, when he was adamant about coming to my place, I already know what type of vibe he was on. And then for you to be like, oh, he came over, I was wanting to do something else. And, you know, I knew he was trying to lead it somewhere and it just happened. And I knew I effed up. I knew it was a bad decision, but I did it anyways. Like, that's not, I can't co-sign that. Because like, I 100% understand that sometimes when you're insecure, sometimes when you don't know how to stand up for yourself, have self-respect or say no, it can be difficult. But you're also an adult. And at a certain point, right? Like you're not, this is why we take questions for adults here. This is an adult channel. You're 29. Like at a certain, what point do we get at where we have to say, Tam, it's your responsibility to speak up for yourself if you're uncomfortable or you don't like where the situation is going, or to say, no, I'm not here for that. Because I can only help you so much and advise you so much and help you look forward to things that might be issues so much before you have to really make the decision for yourself and say, I know this is wrong. I'm not just going to give in because peer pressure. Like, this isn't even, you're at your own house. You can kick him out if you want. This is like, I 100% understand that, you know, there's pressure and things like that, but like, you're at your place. This makes me mad. We spoke for like a week after that, but it didn't take me long to crack it at him again and stop talking to him. What does that mean? To crack it at him again? I don't know what that terminology means. I pretty much just got mad at him. I told him I didn't need him to make me feel better, and he was like, "Okay, big girl." Did he actually say that? "Okay, big girl." And I was like, the only big thing about you doesn't work, and we haven't spoken since. I'm actually not sure what exactly you're trying to say there. How can you call, it's like you tried to compliment, even your disses are coming off wrong. Was that supposed to be a compliment or a diss? Because you're saying that it's big, but it's not working. So how can it be big, but it doesn't work? So are you complimenting him or are you dissing him? That didn't even come out how you wanted it to come out. He called me a child, but for me, I was like, no, it's too late to talk about all that. So, but this makes you look, okay, I'm not going to be nice to you here, Tam, but this makes you look very goofy though. You know why you look goofy? Because you weren't talking a big game when it was like go time, and it was actually the time where you stand up for yourself and say, no, I do what I want and I don't want to do you. That's the time you should have been talking a big, actually I should say acting on a big game. All this stuff you talking about is over text. That's not you talking about, oh, you small. Oh, you couldn't get up. Oh, I don't got time for all that. Where was that energy when he was at your house and he was pressing you, talking about barbecue? He wanted to put you on a barbecue. Where was that stand up for yourself energy? Don't talk big over the phone, because this is what makes you look goofy. Because then the guy, you think he's taking you serious when you're messaging him talking about, oh, your only big thing doesn't work. He's thinking to himself, I came over to your house, I smashed the shoes off you, whatever you got to say whatever you got to say. He's not taking you, I'm not trying to be mean to you. I'm just telling you, like, from a guy's perspective, how they take these type of things in. If you're going to stand up for yourself, stand up for yourself. But when he comes and presses you in person, that's the time where all the big game you've been talking, you put that into fruition and you let him see you really about that life. Then when you want to get your disses off and things like that, he don't got nothing to say. But if you fall flat and you succumb to peer pressure and you let him get what he was trying to get from you, even though you know it was wrong of you to do, and then you start trying to talk all bit, oh, you ain't all that, I don't got time for this, I don't got, he's thinking, who cares? Like, say whatever you want to say. I already did what I needed to do. I'm telling you, this is the truth. Like, this is the truth of how the guys are operating and thinking about that. So that's not the way you go about that. Don't talk a big game over text. All that being the stuff that I wanted to talk to him about. For context, I was diagnosed with a disorganized attachment, DA, and what is BDP? I know what BPD is. What is BDP? Someone tell me what BDP is. This is the furthest I've gone with a guy in terms of telling him how I actually feel about him. Normally, I just keep to myself, keep everything surface level, smoke and just okay, what type of lifestyle is what are you saying? What are you sending this message for? What are you saying here? What do you mean? Normally I just keep everything surface level, smoke, and just sleep with what? What this ain't that type of show. Hey, baby girl, I don't know what type of show you thought this was. This ain't that type of show. We don't do that around here. We live our life with intention around here. Okay? This ain't the just smoke, chill out, do whatever for whatever. This ain't the whatever land. Okay? You wanted that type of show, go somewhere else. Go watch Baddies or something on Tubi or something like that. This ain't that show. Okay? We live our lives with intentionality around here. Okay? So this ain't gonna fly for me and with in our players club. Okay? You notice that a guy is not approaching you with intention in the relationship, you don't talk to that guy. This is not like sit around and just do whatever for funsies. That's not how we do stuff. It was common for me to get taken advantage of, but mostly, what do you mean it's common? Are you accepting that? But mostly, I just want to sleep with the guy and keep an emotional distance. But obviously, I'm not looking for that anymore. LMAO. That's funny. Is this a joke to you? That's funny to you? This is not funny to me. This is very sad. That's not you're gonna be. I understand you're trying to make a change here, but you're not gonna see any sort of happiness in your life living life like that, where everything is I don't care, whatever. We'll just keep things surface level. You ain't gonna have any sort of happiness that way. This guy I was seeing was doing all the things you said, like testing me to see where I'd fold to get me to do pineapples, but you did it, and you did fold. Calling me, asking me if I'm talking to other guys if I pulled away. He's like the textbook dude, everything you talk about in your videos. So what are you saying? That you knew that it was wrong and you did it anyways? But he was also messaging me like, how are you feeling? How was your day? What happened, baby? I used to never get that. And he deleted a bikini photo of me because he respects my opinion. What does that even mean? He was like, I'll push you, like as in motivate me. Motivate you to do what? He used to tell me all this stuff and I just listened. It was really nice. Tell you stuff about, what are you talking about? Not trying to be nostalgic, but I thought maybe I was too crazy anxious to hold it down. Friends would press me about him and be reading the messages between me and him and be like, oh, he's saying all the right things. And I'd be like, no poop. I don't know why you're trying to stop me from seeing him. I don't know if we're all reading the same message because I'm very confused. I had friends try to tell me, act more demanding and demand the bare minimum. What? I'm in the twilight zone here. I had friends try to tell me, act more demanding and demand the bare minimum. And all this BS and tell me to go with someone richer. Are you trying to troll me? What is this? I don't want someone richer. I want someone who wants to see me and be with me and do life with me. Yeah, that should be what you want. I don't think that's this guy, though. Are you thinking that because he texts you a couple of nice things every now and again that he really wants a serious relationship with you? Is that what you're trying to allude to? How should I deal with this? Because we've already done pineapples, which, to be honest, isn't the end of the world. I don't think, even though it could have been way better. And on one hand, I was dealing with my DA. On the other hand, I had those poopy single friends giving me the worst advice. I think he thinks it's dead now because he never replied to me. He also left back to Europe. So after all of this that you just mentioned, he doesn't even actually live in the same area as you. He was just coming to visit that area. I'm going to EU later this year, so you're visiting that area where he's actually from. I'm half European, so it's not foreign for me to be with a European or want to travel there or even move there. I don't care about that. I'm based in Australia. So you guys don't live in the same country. Don't, Tam, I'm going to scold you. Don't talk to me about you possibly moving there one day. Be so for real. You're saying, oh, I could possibly move there one day. If your life isn't actually in that direction of moving to Europe for yourself, don't be talking about I could live there one day possibly because I'm half European. Stop. You live in Australia right now. Unless you had a real plan of actually moving to Europe because it was better for you in some way, shape, or form, stop talking like, Europe's a possibility for you because you go there every once in a while for a vacation. Stop. I'm based in Australia, but it wouldn't be for him unless it 110% suited me, obviously. I guess I'm annoyed that I got influenced by my friends and things went pear-shaped so soon before we could get deeper, because what we had was really sweet and made me really wet. LOL. What? Didn't you just say that sleeping with him wasn't even that good? I'm so confused. And didn't you say that it was big, but it didn't work right? Following up on this, in case you haven't read, I haven't texted him at all, but still think of him and miss him. What are you doing? Rubbing one out to the thought of him? What are you trying to say here? Sometimes I think single girls want their friends to stay single. Update, he just liked my story. Okay, you're not going to do anything with that. Okay, you're not going to do anything with that. Tim. Like, I'm not okay. Let's address the root of your problem. You need to start living with more intentionality. Meaning, when you no more casual things with any guys that are not your guy. Okay, what I mean by that is no more just like hanging out casually. No more casual sex pineapples. No more casual like anything in life. Everything from now on should be intentional, meaning if you start seeing a guy, it should be for the purpose of being in a long-term relationship. I'm not saying that you have to force that, but that should be your goal. And if you're noticing that that's not his goal, then you stop talking to that guy. Because honestly, from the very beginning, I'm confused. Nothing about this strikes me as he really actually wanted to be in a relationship with you. You're talking about random text of him saying, I love you. What does that mean to you in terms of him actually wanting to be in a relationship with you? Nothing. I'm not really sure what did we even talk about a single date? Did we chat? Did she mention a single actual real date aside from just him going to her house and her going to his? Chat, tell me. Did she mention a single in person? I don't think you did. So, Tam, this was never a real relationship. I'm not sure where you got that from. Maybe the text messages you were thinking it's not. The BJ at the park. Okay, Tam, I'm really mean this. More intentionality on your part is very important. Because honestly, part of the reason that these guys are even talking to you this way and approaching you this way is because they see you as a joke. Just being real with you. And then they're taking you as a joke. Like inviting you to the cinema and then asking for a BJ at the park, he doesn't take you very serious. I'll just be real with you. You have to understand, for us guys, we also understand who we can try stuff with and who we can't. You think I'm going to ask the girl of my dreams on my second time seeing her for a BJ at the park? No, I wouldn't try that because the risk reward is way too crazy. And I know if I turn her off like that, I'll never get a chance with her. But a girl who I don't care about or I think is a joke or I think is very low on the totem pole, yeah, I'll say whatever. So you also have to understand guys are respecting you based on how they think you respect yourself. And if they don't think you respect yourself, they don't give a damn either. So we have to start living our lives with more intentionality and never be dating anyone, even seeing anyone, even hanging out with anyone, unless there is the intention of we're building a long-term serious relationship. So that's really the root of your problem here. I don't think this guy, it's done with this guy. I don't care if he likes 10,000 of your stories. I don't care if he comments on every one of your pictures. This situation is done. And you have to start asking yourself, what do you want out of a relationship? What is the most important thing to you? What are the character traits you want? What type of man do you want? And after you answer that question, you have to ask yourself, are you the type of woman that type of man that you're looking for would even want himself? Do you live your life with intentionality? Do you respect yourself? Do you respect your body? Do you respect your time? Right? all of these different things, you have to ask yourself, am I hanging out and doing the things that the type of man I want would even see and like? Or am I doing things that the type of man I want would see and be like, I don't even want that girl? So these are all questions that you need to answer for yourself before you can start thinking about, where you're going to go with this and how you're going to go about this. Definitely not with this guy, but just in the future. Okay. Did someone submit a premium question here? Let me see if I got this. Okay, I did get this. I did get this here. I see this here on, let me see here. Let me see if I could go to make sure this is Melissa. Okay, yeah. So let's read out Melissa. She just submitted a premium question while we were on the show. Okay, so she says, when is it time to decide? Hi, my name is Melissa. I'm 28. I have been with my boyfriend for almost 1 year now. He is 26 and is a nursing student. He will be done with his program in about 1.5 years. During our time together, we have had a lot of ups and downs, and I feel like he really loves me, and as do I. My fear stands on whether my boyfriend is husband material. What? Why wouldn't we have thought about this beforehand? He's a very nice guy, but I fear sometimes he's a little too nice to the point that I'm not sure if I can 100% trust that he will lead our future the way I would want it. With him being in school, I have not gotten a chance to see how he is financially and how he would manage real life things. Since he has a lot of financial help through his parents. He has a close relationship to his friends and has a dream to live close by to them. They currently live in Texas. I'm willing to follow him if we are engaged, but should this scare me that he doesn't have a set plan? When you say he doesn't have a set plan, you mean like he doesn't have a set plan of where he wants to live? Because you said right now he's a nurse. What did it say? Yeah, he's a nursing student, so he's going to become a nurse. You can be a nurse anywhere, right? So that's not wherever you live in Texas, live in California, you can be a nurse anywhere. I'm willing to follow him if we are engaged, but should this scare me that he doesn't have a set plan? I thought we would get there when we get there, but I'm not sure if I can put my future in his hands for another year, hoping that we will figure out a plan. When I bring this up, he says he sees a future with me and that he wants to focus on school and he sees me as a future wife. However, I have told him if I don't get the sense of future and building, I need to think about me and my time. How can I determine if he is husband material, and what kind of questions can I ask to figure this out? Why haven't you been doing this beforehand though? Like, you're saying he's now your boyfriend and you're talking about how can I figure out if my boyfriend is husband material? That's the whole purpose of like dating someone, is getting the answer to that question, right? Like, I'm not saying that you have to be like, oh my gosh, I know absolutely everything about this person. But like, when you're dating the person, you should be thinking to yourself, am I seeing things that make me feel like this person actually has potential? You don't date the person, become boyfriend and girlfriend, and then start thinking to yourself, do they actually have husband potential? That's not how you should be going about it. But let's go on. Every time I bring up any problems, he always reassures me and a sense of feeling of calmness, but I don't want to trust him without actions. He's a really good guy. Do you believe in building the right guy? If he likes you enough, he should be improving, or he should already come ready or prepared with a husband mindset. He's the best relationship I've ever been in. I also don't want to settle and have the dream taken away from me of building a family and have a strong husband as a leader for me and my future kids. Okay, Melissa, you're between a rock and a hard place. So you need to take some drastic measures now, because this guy's your boyfriend and it's make or break in terms of your future. Your next hangout with him needs to be a serious hangout for the purpose of having this serious conversation. So whether you want to call him or text him, say, look, when can we meet? I want to talk to you about something serious. And I don't want you guys to be planning to do anything else throughout that day except for have this conversation, whether it's be in the car, at his house, or at your house. So both of you bring your water bottles, okay? Big water bottle like this, hold a lot of water. Bring your water bottles, go pee beforehand, Bring your comfy clothes, and you guys are going to sit down and you're going to have a no distractions, do not disturb on your phone conversation about your future life. And you're going to bring all your different questions about your future and what you want, and he's going to answer them one way or another. Either his answer is going to be a non-answer or his answer is going to be a direct answer. Now, the most important things you need to address here. What does he want for himself? What does he want for himself family-wise? What does he want himself relationship like and marriage-wise? Where does he want to live ideally? And what does he want to be doing for work? Does he want to continue being a nurse, or does he have some bigger plan of doing something other than nursing? All of these topics you need to discuss with him extensively, not about what you want. Don't ask him about what you want. Don't have him speak on what you want. Ask him what he wants for himself. Ask him, what is his relationship with his family? Does he want to be close to them? Does he want to be far with them? His friends, does he want to be away from them? Does he want to be closest to them? What in the place that he decides he wants to live? Why does he want to live specifically there? What's exciting there for him? Why does he want to build his life there? Why does he want to settle there? And if he tries to make the answer about, well, you want, but say, no, don't talk about what I want. Don't mention me in your plans or your life. I just want you to speak on what you want for yourself. Period. The reason I'm saying that, and I want you to ask that question that way, is because I want you to compare and contrast. Does what he wants for himself align with what I want for my life? Because the escape plan that guys will use in this scenario, they will speak on what they want based on what they know you want or they think you want. So you don't want him to give you any sort of answer that will confuse you and make you think you guys are aligned when you're not. Ask him what he wants for his own life, his own plan, his own future, his own, just self. And then ask yourself after that if that's what you want for yourself. Once you go through the long list of things, you should be talking about family, you should be talking about friends, you should be talking about career. You should also be asking him, how satisfied or dissatisfied are you with your current career? With nursing school, how do you find that? Is that something you think you can do for the rest of your life, or you don't want to do that? What do you hate about nursing? What do you love about it so far? What is your experience, right? And things like that. Are there any other passions that you have? Any other things that you haven't gotten a chance to try or pursue that you want to pursue in the future? Are there any things you wish you could be rather doing other than nursing? These are very important questions to ask. Extensively, this is going to be like a 3-hour or 4-hour conversation you guys are going to have. Ask him all of those questions, right? Let him go first. Once he finishes asking you, then you can kind of go into, if he wants to know more about you, you can answer for yourself as well. And then you have to, after that conversation, you should walk away with a very clear understanding and answer for yourself of, we are either aligned in what we want for ourselves or we're not. Okay? And you'll get that through his own personal answers of himself. Because if your goal is, let's just say, for example, you guys live in California currently and you love California, you're really close with your family and you love being around there. And he says, my goal is for me to live in Texas. I want to live in Houston. I don't know if I want to do nursing for so long. I might want to join the army later. I might want to do this later. I might want to be a chef later. I might want to be a rapper later, whatever the case may be. Like, that's when you say to yourself, okay, I have to accept me and this guy are not aligned, because what he wants for himself and what I know I want for myself and my life is not in the same place. And that's okay. It's not a crime, but you have to accept that as the truth and then move according to that, because both of you have to be working towards the same point. With the same goals of, hey, we want our lives to be here. This is how we want to be living. We want to have a family. We want to kind of live in this area. We want to kind of do these things with, there should be alignment. If there's not, you got to say goodbye to that person. So that next hangout, that next conversation should be solely addressing that. And if you try, listen, you're going to get an answer one way or another. His answer is either going to be direct to tell you exactly what he wants for himself, or he's going to avoid answering the question because he doesn't have an answer, or he doesn't want you to know his true answer. Either way, consider that we're misaligned. Because if he can't answer the question, because he honestly doesn't know, or he just doesn't want to answer the question, oh, why are we talking about this? This is so deep. We don't need to think about this stuff. You guys aren't aligned. Because if you're thinking about the future and your life and your family and your relationship and your potential marriage, and you're dating a man who's not thinking about that, doesn't want to discuss that, doesn't want to get to that point, doesn't want to cross that bridge, doesn't want to open up about that topic, then you're not dating the right man. Okay? There should be alignment there. I'm telling you guys the truth, chat. When you start dating a guy and he's your boyfriend, you guys should be talking about marriage and children and kids by the time he's your boyfriend. because that should be the place you guys are both heading towards. Why do you think you guys see some of these situations where one person will propose and then the one person will be like, oh no, like the girl will be like, no? Because when there's so much misalignment and you don't talk about these things like leading up to that point, that's where you get one person on one page and another person on a totally different page. You should be talking about this from the very beginning. So that's the conversation you have with him, and you're going to walk away from that conversation with an answer one way or another, okay? All right, chat. This was a very, very crazy, crazy, crazy day that we had here. I'm so glad you all could join me for today's show. I hope you guys enjoyed the different format today's show. We went full FBI mode. For those of you who are watching me on TikTok, you can go ahead. If you missed any parts of the show, you want to rewatch any parts, you can go up to my name there at the top right of the screen. It's just my name. You can type in my first name, Tomisin, and you can find this whole live stream where we broke down the Thewizardliz and her situation and all the other live streams I've done since the beginning of time right there on my YouTube channel in the live section. For those of you who want to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is just above my head on the top left corner of the screen. It's Tomisin_Tub. It's also in the link in my bio. We had some fan messages, some super chats. Cece donated $5. She says, if you've been dating almost 2 months and he's been intentional with gifts and effort, is it okay to plan something for his birthday next month? Yeah, Cece, there's nothing wrong. If he's been intentional with you and his birthday is coming up, it's okay to plan something. What I will kind of alert you of, though, and to tell you to be cautious of, is don't go over the top, okay? So do something small. You should not be heading the birthday organization, though. You've been dating him or talking to him for 2 months. So you're not doing like, I'm planning the secret surprise party. You're not doing that, okay? You're not doing the, oh, I'm texting his family and making sure he gets everything's in order and we're planning a huge big, no, you're not doing that, okay? The most you do is like you take him out one-on-one for a dinner or something like that, make him feel special or whatever the case may be, right? Something very small. It should not be over the top. You've only been seeing him for 2 months, okay? Just tame that. But you can do something for him for his birthday. It just shouldn't be like, 5-year girlfriend planning type of birthday, all right? So for those of you who are wanting to rewatch the show, I gave you guys the link there for you to all rewatch the show if you want, or the way to get there, access to that. For those of you who have any questions for me, you can always ask in the Discord. You can also send me in a private message as well, like I said. Make sure you guys join the Discord if you're not already on the Discord. And I'm here every weekday, Monday, where? In the link in my bio, Rainy. I'm here every Monday and Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I was on a better timing today with all the information I had to gather. So I'll be here again on Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until we meet again. I bid you adieu, arrivederci, au revoir, hasta la vista, sayonara, ciao, salam, adios, bon voyage. And I'll see you again on Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I love you so much.